searching for the real, well, this is where it's at. The latest topics and panels and brother, don't descend to the bathroom. We got all the stats, too, back to facts in the morning or the afternoon. Tuesday, women's POV, 2 Fridays, there's a jamming tune. It's a community of real, and we better than the world news. This might be risky, I hope you know. This might be risky, let's go. This might be risky, no, I love you, real, I love it. This might be risky. Salute to DJ HAMP, it's time to start the show. Salute to DJ HAMP, it's time to start the show.
Run! It's a stampede! DJ HAMP, the stampede. DJ HAMP, the stampede.
Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel. Super perspective in the building. Like I said, man, this really been a pop-up show. We know it's on the weekend. We just trying to figure out what day and time. You know what I mean? But it kind of interests me when we just pop it up to see what the engagement is. I ain't gonna lie. So I kind of like the dynamic. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So we are here, man. Salute to yesterday. Like I said, I was on the back of the truck with my guys on Friday. So we did the makeup show yesterday. The DJ set yesterday was fire. Definitely go take a listen. You heard? The show yesterday was dope as hell too. And it was a slightly condensed show just because of the limited time we had, you know? And so I went and... Is this show stemming from yesterday?
Stemming from a lot of stuff, man. Yeah. Let's say yeah.
Yeah, for the sake of it. Okay. Let me see in the chat real quick. We get it popping. Ashe, what's up? I was in the chat. Miss Jilly was goody. Miss Jilly unmuted. In the Discord, Susan, Miss Jilly in Bible study. Make sure I say what's up to Miss Jilly in the chat. Saul was popping. Happy Sunday indeed. Shalom, Zeke. Good shit in the Bible study. Ordy was popping. My brother True in the building. Homeboy, Shalom. Sporties was goody. God thanks Sporties for getting that fit room together. You know what I'm saying? That shit that's like probably the most fun I be having during the week. Fat Boy was popping. K was goody. Salute. Sophisticated Jerk in the building. My brother Bino in the building. Melly Mel was popping. Black America. Salute to the OG. Forward up. I heard the song. You know what it is. Shout out to Tokyo 4 in the building. 30 Red was popping. Hit the like button. Omega Dreads, I see you. Was goody. Miss Jilly, what up? Venus was popping, man. Let's get it, man. Salute to the 50 people in the building already for the pop-up show, but we had to get it popping. Men versus the movement.
Wow.
What's up, Sean? What's up, Shaw?
Man, chilling, bro. You know what I'm saying? Ready to have a conversation, you know. Shout out to the chat.
Let us know, man. Where we at, man? Truth, what up, man? You know, y'all saw yesterday's show. So here's the I started like this. Yesterday's show, I was listening to the Discord, listening to different conversations, listening to what happens in conversations. Y'all notice I had the Himothy episode, and I was looking at the comments, right? We did the Super Nigga episode. I'm looking at the comments. What I'm looking at and seeing is it's mostly men kind of pushing back at the niggas who saying, yeah, I'm that nigga. Just generally in our earth coming up. Now, I guess we've seen hate, right? Whenever you look at the drug dealers and all that, it always be a nigga next to him who feel a way about him. You know what I mean? And then they end up getting busy on them. But for the most part, when niggas not on the street and people just existing, I'm not hating. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Let him do him. If I'm with Sean and he start embellishing the story, then I'm gonna embellish the story with him. You know what I mean? That's how
Get out, big dog.
You know what I mean? So I was looking. They say, yo, Shy, yo, Sean. Yeah. We trying to talk to the women, but y'all either sticking up for them, trying to angle it back to the men and all that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all trying to gain favor and shit like that. But that's the part we really got to mind out. Because here's my thing. Is it correction for those men or is it envy of those men? Which is the reason why there's so much pushback. So I land my plane there and we get it popping.
Sorry, I was away.
My bad. Go ahead, be nice. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I was away. So what up, everybody? And shout out to the chat. Chat lives matter. Yeah, you can go.
So it's been a pretty interesting week, but it's always interesting in the TMUR Discord in general. But we've been trying to figure out what's happening, what's the disconnect. I think men, in all facets, all arenas, we disagree, and sometimes certain topics, certain situations could take things to a certain level. But what's been very difficult for me to understand, or what I'm trying to process, is this idea of men who have a different approach to a problem that we all have identified, that Black people are struggling to build committed relationships. People who have disagreements, we say those men are in the way of a progress or a goal that's trying to be reached. And I haven't heard anyone really articulate, other than repeating it, I haven't heard anyone articulate what that looks like. So I know, Be Nice, you and I had an exchange in Discord a couple days ago. Maybe not so much about this particular situation now, but I would say you're one of the people who kind of have that sentiment.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think it is okay. So I understand where the envy thing is kind of stemming from. And that's, obviously, in my opinion, self-preservation, because the conversations we have, and when it comes to fixing the community or making actual strides, my belief is that we all have to be on one accord. And that one accord can't have areas where like people can just jump to them and have a safe haven. There should be no safe havens when we're actually trying to fix the issues that we're seeing. So what I believe is, a lot of the times, I'm not saying all the time, but a lot of the times in the conversations, when we say things like chat niggas or people that are less than, or people that are average, we have to always baseline it with the average experience is what the majority of people are saying on the internet. It's not the outliers that are saying, oh yeah, I have no issues, because the conversations are so big and so popular that millions of people are having them on a daily basis, not just on the internet, but in real life as well, because these are actual issues that people have in relationships. And pretty much staying in a relationship that you don't agree with, or you don't agree with the structure of it, is not good overall. That's my belief. And so when these conversations happen and we're trying to like differentiate ourselves, I don't think any of that's real. I don't think people are actually having so much of a different experience to where it's valid that they're saying, oh, that's those people having those issues. Oh, that's those people. Because if we look deep enough into because the majority of situations are almost identical when it comes to relationships. Like you start the same way and you almost usually the same way. And so in the middle of that process, a lot of times people are having the exact same experiences, because the majority of people have a certain modus operandi. So there's no actual real difference between someone who's more attractive experiencing this person versus a normal person. Only thing is that person may like that person more or have an affinity towards their attractiveness. That's my premise.
All right. So you mentioned the average experience. Mm-hmm. And if you could articulate that in like one or two sentences, what is the average experience?
The average experience is people get in a relationship, or you get your first girlfriend, right? You get a girlfriend. Either you start with girlfriends or you start with just hookup relationships, because that's what's going on in society today. But you start with a relationship, and in order for you to have your girl, you're doing things that you would normally never ever do. So buying the flowers, there's no way niggas is coming out the womb like, oh, I need to because this even happened in high school. People were going to the store to get flowers for their girl before they went to school. I didn't have a car. I rode the bus. I don't even know how people were even doing that. It made no sense to me. Plus, not to mention, what really am I bringing you flowers for? You're my girlfriend. All right. Shouldn't that be a mutually beneficial relationship? But we acquiesce and we give up our power by just continuing what the status quo is, which makes women respect us less because they don't see any difference between what you're doing and what a 75-year-old man is doing. There's no difference. Only thing is that guy's had more time to acquire more money and more time to actually, talk to more women. That's really it.
So be nice. I think maybe I answered the question wrong, Hemp. I was trying to understand from your estimation, what is the average experience that men are experiencing? What's the average experience? I think you gave me like some of the problems. What's the average experience that men are experiencing in regards to women? What's the average experience?
Okay. The average experience is I like a girl and I have to break down my self-respect in order to get with her / stay with her. I can't continue respecting myself while also being with her. Because if I have a standard for myself that I won't be doing these things, I won't do a certain thing. If I have a standard for that, then if it's a certain thing that women automatically say this is mandatory for me to be with you, and you say I'm not doing that, then you're already disqualified. So you actually have to mentally break what your standard is in order to stay in a relationship with someone that's making something mandatory for you. Yet you don't actually have to acquiesce or do what the thing that they want is. You don't actually have to do it. But if you do, you are breaking down your own self-respect.
Okay, well, I can't say if it's hard for me to say if that's what the majority of men are doing or like voluntarily choosing to do in relationships. But when I was thinking about the average experience, I was thinking about just some of the things I've heard men talk about online. For instance, like just in the earth, dealing with women. The majority of men are walking through the earth and they don't get a pleasant experience from women in general. Not exclusive to relationships and romance, but I've heard men talk about just in general, they don't have pleasant experience with black women in particular. That's just not a thing that happens often for them. Is that the average male experience?
That would also depend. I mean, like, if are we saying so when I define average, I don't actually have like a certain particular personality type for it. And there is certain personality types in our community that are just shunned or taboo, which I'm an example. I have these experiences. I've had mostly negative experiences with black women. Not the ones I'm in relationships with, but in general, they don't fuck with me, which I don't have an issue with because I still find what likes me. But at the end of the day, in majority, in society, our community, they don't like a person like me because I have a standard for what I believe in. And I'm not wavering for anything. I don't care if it makes you feel good. I don't care if I'm going to be the man. If I don't want to be the man. I don't have any desire to be a real man from women's definition.
And so if I come on camera, right, you just share what you just shared, and I say, well, for me, in general, when I meet people, I meet strangers, they smile, they're pleasant. That's the experience I have. And I say that. You would say that me making that statement is getting in the way. Is that a fair?
If we're talking if you're talking about just in the world when people are acting cordially, yeah, 100%, I agree with you. majority of people are not just going to be assholes to you, be rude out of nowhere. I agree. But if you are closely related to them, that could be friend, that could be cousin, that could be boyfriend. That's when women sort of feel a bit of power over you because you're closer to them. They know a little bit more about you. And if they wanted to hurt you, they have more information to do that. But a normal person walking down the street or passing you in the grocery store, they're not just going to automatically have a negative attitude toward me or you. So these are people that you're actually experiencing more than just a brush past. You're not the grocery store clerk. We're talking about people that are in our lives that we have vested interest in seeing be positive and also having a positive experience in life. So friends, cousins, aunties, all those people. If you have a negative experiences with them, then that's a bigger sign of, what's going on, because it's more of an internal thing than just how we want the world to experience it.
Can I go back a little bit? We got True Table here now. He said, Be Nice said earlier that there shouldn't be safe havens. So let's say, for the sake of argument, in conversation, shy could be considered a safe haven for women, right? Now I want to ask another question. Be Nice, since you said there shouldn't be safe havens, are there safe havens for men on the other side of this coin?
The safe haven is being the real man.
No,
doing everything that women say is a real man is the.
Nah, I don't think you understand what I'm asking.
Okay.
You said there shouldn't be safe havens, right? When we're having these conversations, there shouldn't be a guy like Shad coming in trying to lessen the blow, right? I'm the safe space Shad for the women, right? That shouldn't be. Are we in agreement?
Yes.
I'm asking you on the other side. I'm using sides. Y'all introduced me to the idea of sides. So as a man that's not on y'all side, could you be considered a safe haven for men? Or is it always challenged?
It could definitely be seen as a safe haven for men if the men that are in my community aren't holding each other accountable. So if someone came to me and was like, hey, women ain't shit, but then you asked them what they did, and I was cheating on my girl for 7 months, I got into a relationship, but still didn't want to be like monogamous, even though I agreed upon monogamy when I got into the relationship, I'm not going to support that. You should have started the relationship as a polygamous thing or open so that it's truthful. And then that's how you should have moved forward with that relationship. But it's not a safe haven because I'm going to light you up too.
Okay, take it off you personally, Be Nice. Let's say you are the guy that holds everybody accountable. What's your estimation just from what you see with the conversation we have here, Discord, wherever we may have these conversations? Do you see safe havens being formed on the side of men?
Yes, I do. I do slightly.
What's up with all the qualifiers? When you my bad, go ahead.
Because when I see the conversations when it comes to, like, let's say a community that has a certain mindset or is pushing a certain mindset, let's say it's a red pill, just use that for example. There is the tendency for people who can't articulate what's really going on in relationships from the outside perspective, having the conversations about what's going on inside the relationship, or like a psychological conversation when they don't actually really process everything that's going on.
That's
they
fair.
Don't add all the variables.
Okay,
so
I got you.
I could agree. I could agree to that.
What about, again, I'm gonna use myself as the example of, let's say, where you are as a safe haven for women. I allow women to escape consequence for their bad behavior. You mentioned articulation and some men not being able to articulate the point. So you might have a guy who serves as a safe haven for that person for articulation. What about behavior? What about, as men, are we allowed to escape consequences for our bad behavior because we can go amongst men and they would accept it in this space. Not in general, in this space we're in right now. Do we ignore the behavior of men to have these discussions?
I don't think so. I think we're hypercritical of what men do.
Okay.
Like everyone's hypercritical of what we're doing.
Okay.
That's why we get called sassy when we have any sort of come back to anything, is because we're being hyper looked at for every action that we're doing all the time. Even just having a complaint about something makes you sassy.
Sean, what's up? Hamp, what's up? Y'all letting us go on, or what we doing?
So the behavior question is probably the substance of that being answered in terms of safe haven in regards to men. I remember specifically we just did a clip, right? Be nice. Should have salute the Obsidian. He was up here, and I asked a question about a statistic that showed black men having the highest divorce rates regardless of what the ethnicity of the woman is, right? And so I said, what do you think about, we have the highest divorce rates with white women, Latina women, and so-called black women, right? And he's like, oh, that's interesting, but black women do X, Y, Z, X, Y. So we didn't even get a chance, the opportunity to talk about why that may be as such. You know, when we start talking about dynamics in our community, by and large, we often start talking about the conduct of the women, right? And what the men are subject to. When we start trying to talk about what men allow and do not allow, right? It usually gets circumvented, and we start talking about the women again. There was a stream where I was literally saying, the brothers were they just couldn't stay where I wanted the topic to be, right?
Yeah.
And they said, I said, you know what? Let's throw the leadership thing out the window. Because if we continue to not want to address what the topic was, and it was about women, I was doing men, and I was doing women the next day, then we can't qualify us as the leaders if we can't even have the conversation about our conduct, right? 100%. So we see that happens, you know.
And I think that's a part of it too. I think half of the population agrees. Yeah. Agrees with the leadership thing. And the other half is like, leaders, how?
Yeah.
If we don't actually have any power over this other person, how are we really leading them? We're really just saying we're doing it. We position like we're doing this. But when she says, hey babe, come to bed, your ass is gonna get in that bed, man.
So I want to pose a question to True Table and Be Nice. I don't know. So let's just say, as men, we don't appreciate a safe haven. Then why would we be opposed to opposing voices within these conversations? Why would statements be like, you're in the way, be made if as men we don't like safe havens? So you would think we would welcome men with different approaches to a problem that we all say we want to solve, which is, again, bringing our families back together, having strong nuclear families with men and women. If that's all of our goal, why would we be opposed to men with different approaches to solving the problem?
Shout out to Hamp. Good morning, fellas.
Shout out. Good morning.
I'll approach it like this. I think that anytime you lack objectivity, that's where the problem comes in. It's not the fact that you shouldn't be a man, because if we're gonna, claim the title of man, you should have a level of objectivity. You should be as strong as well as what would be the opposing word? You should have a level of strength, but you should also be able to utilize care, maybe tenderness when it's necessary. I think that when your dominant voice is always like but or men this, then that becomes annoying, because what you start to see is that we have not been able to take the leadership mantle as men in this community, because we give women out. They have bad behavior. Sit on it. They need to grow up, sit on it. When you got other men, what typically happens, especially when they look like us, because what I think a lot of times is the women don't know how to decipher what's proper. We haven't taught our women that your growth is going to be painful. You being with a man is probably going to be uncomfortable. That's where you need to be. What they've been taught is they need to feel good. Everything's supposed to be good. Everything's a path. Everything's not a freaking path. So I would say men like yourself could be considered being in the way, because just we can have a crowd of us, saying yeah and cheering to the objective, the mission. All they need is one opposing voice, and they'll go there because you're not requiring anything. And so that's why I think that if you're gonna have that voice, you should time it correctly, because what you typically do see is the moment we start milling down on it, the women are open. I don't know if you ever see that they are receptive, and all it takes is a gentleman to come and be like, yeah, but the fellas need to get it together, and it just literally eliminates the progress we made. I think that's dangerous, and that's my issue with it. And I learned.
Yeah, I think that's the best articulation of the potential problem I've heard since the statement was made, for sure.
Yeah, that was awesome.
If I'm talking about me personally, and I mean him can edify me if you think my viewpoint or vantage point is wrong. So the first time I heard that was when we were having a conversation about statistics, and so I challenged Mr. Fantastic on his approach to communicating what the numbers mean, what they say, and I was told because I didn't provide an alternative stat that I guess my efforts were not, it wouldn't yield positive results for, again, what we said a solution is. Right. So it wasn't being like, hey, we having a conversation about women's conduct, and then I come on, I say, hey, y'all, let's not talk about the women. Let's talk about why men need to do better. My estimation has always been, if we mirror the actions of women that we say are negative, right? We talk about what happened in the 90s. And we talk about all the propaganda, the misleading of people in the black male image, and how black women could have potentially created negative ideas about black men, right? So let's say 20 years later, if we're considered the more illogical side of the game, right? And we're not having those considerations about how do we have this conversation? Because we don't want to repeat what we say women have done, right? Propaganda, misleading information. As men, we want to make sure we have sound information. We're, and I understand we're still developing, I guess, our approach, right? But if we just come to the internet spewing whatever kind of information, misleading people, using information incorrectly, and as men, right, who are supposed to operate from logic, don't stand in the gaps and say, wait, guys, I get what y'all trying to do, but this is wrong.
Yeah, I think that's where you have to be wise enough and have discernment to understand the spirit of the conversation. That's a semantical conversation. So maybe that conversation can happen at a point to where we've developed an ear that this is a separate issue. Y'all talking about statistics, that still does not, in my opinion, edify the disconnect. Women in our community, women, period, in my opinion, don't know the voice of men. They actually think we think like them. And if you listen to how they talk, that's the issue. They don't know what men want. When we say what we want, that's why it's a jarring response. So what we need to continue to have when you got men that are coming with opposing perspective, what I believe should have happened has been like, okay, brother, I hear what you're saying, but let's sit right here. Remove the statistics, because most people, I don't believe, live their life on statistics anyway. You can tell that just by the way they make their decisions. What are we really trying to build on again, the spirit of the conversation? That's right. What I think happened, and then again, it got derailed. You and Fantastic, myself, Hamp, Sean, all of us are probably intelligent enough to have that conversation, maybe on discourse. But on the panel where we're trying to like really get to, in my opinion, the spirit of what needs to occur, that's where I think it derailed. Because women do not know what men want. They do not know our voice. And all they sometimes see in here, because people have biased ears, well, he's on our side, and that's it. And that's what typically happens. I think that we need to, as men, I think Be Nice said it. We need to be on one accord. A man talking that look like us should sound just like any other man, no matter if he's him, no matter if he's a nerd, no matter if he's a preacher, it don't matter. Because we are all on the same agenda as far as structure, growth, and excellence within the community. That's my opinion.
And this will be the last statement. I get a mic. I think that might be somewhat of the problem to table when I talk about the safe haven, right? Because we just assume, like you just said, just because they're black, that we're all on the same page. Every man that comes up here to speak isn't promoting marriage. But then in one conversation, we'll say marriage is the key for black people particularly, or for those who aren't religious, or some type of committed relationship will be what makes the black community stronger. But all the voices that come here aren't coming here to promote commitment or marriage. So in those scenarios, because I'm agreeing with you, as black men, we should be on one accord. And that one accord is that we get our community back to where it needs to be. But when you really start combing through everything, you realize there are actually many different approaches to this, to get to this goal. So I don't know if everyone actually agrees. And that assumption to me, and not actually making people stand on, we can keep talking about women's behavior. That's something that we all know it needs to be improved, right? And we all can hide under that umbrella that we're here to make the community better. Under the umbrella that black women need to fix their behavior. But then when you really start combing through these men, you realize we're not actually all on the same page. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I said for me, right? Like I said, and wrong or right? I'm a scientist by practice. I'm pre-biology major, so I understand systems and cycles. That's how I think, right? So if I'm watching someone online, again, I didn't do it on purpose, but if I'm watching someone do something misleading, in particular, we're talking about numbers, I wouldn't say, well, he's a black man, and I'm assuming he's doing this because it's going to make our community stronger. It's just hard for me to sit. You see what I'm saying? Because what was happening, there are rules to it on how you're supposed to do these things. So I'm thinking men who want to see a strong community are going to welcome a voice like, hey, do what you do, but make sure we do it correctly, because that's what men do, right? We do things with logic, and we make a smart decision. We don't, from my estimation, we don't focus on the emotional part of it. That makes us feel good as men to be able to say, look, we're doing better. Look what the numbers say. So that was my approach. If we're just using this one particular situation, the first time I heard the idea of a voice like mine being in the way, that was the first time I heard it. And it didn't make sense to me. I think what you said was dope, and I actually agree with that. If y'all building and a guy just comes in, I can understand that.
Yeah, it would be the exact same logic as like, how long, you ever see it in the chat or whatever, how long before the conversation gets to women, right? Because what it is let's say the woman point is applicable to the conversation. As soon as people hear women XYZ, automatically say, oh, here we go. Not even if the point makes sense per the conversation. So that's actually a great way how True articulated it. Like, what is the timing of the whataboutism? Because even the statistic conversation, when I'm recollecting it, I thought that it was substantive, but it may have been mostly for me, you see? Like, because I'm listening intently and I'm not getting derailed from the conversation at hand. It was a clarification for me. I think for the majority of people, it was a way to refute what he was saying, where you were actually clarifying, no, this is how you actually interpret this or discern what we're looking at.
Right.
But I think most people, because they have a presupposition, are going to hear it as a refutation. And I've seen that happen several times where it'll be people saying one thing and they'll say, as soon as a person, we see it in the race conversations, they'll say, well, black people said it. And instantly it's like, okay, so that means that the conversation is done, right? Or it's like, I got one black friend, one white friend. Like, it just, that happens. So I understand that premise. It's interesting. in a way might be much, but I can see how people will instantly disregard what was said when a person they come with has when another person comes up and has cachet and all those things and then goes against the premise that's being discussed. I can see how people will throw out the premise itself. Yeah, I can see it. That's interesting.
I think another part that.
Hold on, Ben. Let me do this real quick.
Yeah, go off.
Let me do that. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Fat Boy with the 10 ounces just to get it started. Thank you, Fat Boy. I love you too. Son, kid, Shalom. OG, the safe haven for the brothers is calling the other men super. Ellipsis. They get hate and not compete under the safety of, quote, that's because y'all are all super, end quote. Nigga, please. Catching bullets with his teeth, LOL. Compete, my nigga. Perfect. Wow. Yo, man, oh man.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on. Wait a minute. Whoa, my money here. Get the fuck out of here. Get him the fuck out of here. Put him in the bedroom.
Niggas want me dead. Prices on my head. To cock my shit and I pop my shit.
Go ahead, be nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think one of the issues we have is that we don't actually. We're not on one accord about what our goal is. I think part of the goals that we have, if we're all talking about making the community better overall, is our decorum. Like, we should fix our decorum so that we can get further in these conversations without having, such a vitriolic kind of response. Because even if, like, let's say Shad is the person that's the outlier, but yet in another room, I could be the outlier, right? So in any of these situations, the majority of the people have to have enough decorum to hear out the person that's, of opposition, actually process what they're saying, take what's good about it, and be able to spit out the bones, or actually be able to functionally express what the issues are with what they were saying. And I think a lot of times we just say, oh yeah, that person's wrong because they are nerd, aka, or unexperienced, or virgin, or whatever name you want to put on it, incel, red pilled, whatever you want to do, you can use that, and that pretty much just says, hey, overall we can just wipe everything that they said and just say it's all bullshit. And majority of people agree.
Question: why does that works everywhere else? Why not in these combos? Like, if you ain't never played football, right? I don't have to give you the benefit of the doubt. Like, if you didn't participate, even if you wanted to, right? I don't gotta be like, oh well, I should consider as a for what? You never, and I'm not saying you, right? But just right. Yeah. If I came in and I look at and you got your name in a record book, right? I'm not gonna say, hey, be nice, nigga. I can dive off this diving board just as good as you can. You can say, him, shut the fuck up, right? So why not? Yeah. So why does that have to change in these combos? Like,
now you're right. I think the reason it does is because relationships are something that everyone experiences. You like, just because you have more or less experience, you're all dealing with relationships, which is two people trying to make things work, and it's difficult. So that's why everyone can be included in the conversation, and we shouldn't really be shutting it down. Romantic relationships. Yep. Everyone's, at least, even if they're not in one, trying to get to one. And in that process, you're dealing with the other gender.
Okay.
So everyone's kind of a part of the conversation.
I understand. I think that I don't, how do I say it? Like, I understand. I accept it. I accept it. I think I accept it. Be nice.
I don't want to accept it. Pause.
Yeah.
I get not wanting to, because it's like, I'm better. I'm
But
better
no,
than y'all.
See, you
I
already
have a better experience. My experience is
You
different.
just said don't discredit people with no experience, but yet you want to discredit somebody with the most experience.
Yeah,
At some point, bro, we got to have a qualified opinion, and niggas got to know when to shut the fuck up. Bro, it's certain stuff I make sure I shut the fuck up on because I don't have the qualified opinion. I mean, in the Discord, whatever, I shut the fuck up because I don't have a qualified opinion. I'm not gonna shame CJ. Oh, CJ, you with your CJ and Hemp, you and your fancy boxing training. Why can't I have an opinion, nigga? Because you don't fucking box. So shut the fuck up if you ain't got no opinion.
Yeah, there we go.
I agree.
Be nice. Now, here's what he said, right? Qualified opinion, right? I think that is really important.
Yeah,
that has to be important. Go ahead.
That's the problem, though. Everyone's qualified when we're talking about relationships. Everyone is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're a virgin, because at the end of the day, you're still looking to get into relationships. It doesn't matter if you have 7 bodies, you've been in relationships. It doesn't matter if you have 100 bodies. These people may like you more, but at the end of the day, you're dealing with relationships all the same. And the goal is to make it work between you and that other person.
Yeah.
So the actions are all the same.
No, you're right. But the nigga, if he trying to get sex, right? Because when you say bodies, that's my assumption. And he only got 2, he got to shut his fucking mouth. Mm-hmm. If we talking about I'm trying to get access to women, and then he got 2, just under the premise. I'm not trying to pigeonhole you to it, be nice, but just what you said, right? And I'm not trying to make the conversation about it, but we just trying to understand whose opinion should be validated during the convo. He got 2 bodies, I got 100. I don't want to hear nothing. He don't need to be listening to himself, right? Because he not scoring. Like if we just talking about just straight, just you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think the issue I'd have with that is
go ahead, talk your shit.
2 bodies is still technically scoring.
See, my issue with that, and I'm glad, and I'm gonna tell you what I have.
Look at his face.
My issue is that, like, I think maybe Sean can align with this, right? There's tier levels to the game. Cats will tell you they got bodies, but nobody wanted them damn bodies. Like they were the lame of the group. Like when I'm saying lame, like that chick had a fat back or she was missing an ear. Like nobody wanted her, bro. Like
all the nigga needs.
They'll build a resume off that. You can't approach certain conversations when your streak is weak. Like anybody could have got that. You know, like I have a personal problem with that.
You right. But you're right about that. But here's what renders it moot is because that most men agree that niggas will fuck anything.
That's a personal gripe of mine, but I'll hold.
Yeah,
that's me though. That's me. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because all she needed the wagon. You heard? What they call it down south, Shy? Fine. Like they got this terminology, true. So
fine shit.
Fine shit.
Yeah. She fine shit means she's unattractive in the face, but because everything else is fine, she
no, that's a butter face.
No, they call it.
Term. All right, me and True old. So we get.
I'm talking about fine. You call it fine don't mean the face. Yeah.
So the butter face get busy. You know that. Like she got the other assets. Like niggas is going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts.
For the most part, most niggas. That's all.
It'd be nice. I say I'm gonna give you 25 grand. And I'm gonna help you open a moving business. Are you gonna ask CJ for help or Hemp? Who gonna be your mentor?
Probably Hemp because I know.
Yeah, it's common sense.
Probably.
Yeah, Hemp definitely.
I don't even know why you had to think about that.
I mean, I've had to think about it because, like, I was thinking like Chat GPT. Like, that's just the way I think though. But Hemp, yeah, definitely Hemp.
Qualified opinion. You can't come to me if you want to be trained in boxing. You got to go to one of these 2 niggas. You got to. Wouldn't even make sense. I don't care how much boxing I watch. I don't be getting punched in my shit. I don't be hitting the bag like these niggas do, bro. It's just the qualified opinion, man. These niggas are experts. I'm not. I don't care how much I watch or study. It ain't the same as getting fucking punched all the time.
100%. And how would you relate that to like what about a relationships? Like what about having good experiences or high bodies is going to differentiate your experience so much from someone that has 5 bodies and is doing things maybe a little bit more studiously, or they have their own standard. Like let's say they only have sex when they get into relationships. So they're automatically going to have less bodies than someone that doesn't give a shit.
The premise is getting cheeks.
So
yeah, but they can get cheeks, but their rule is I don't have sex until I get into a relationship. So they're still just as qualified, but they're using their skills a little bit differently, and they also have their own drawbacks for how far in they're going to go and how crazy they're just going to be in terms of what they want to do.
That's the thing. When we liken it to just everyday things, be nice, right?
Hmm?
How many reps does it take to become a professional? Right? There is an actual. What does it say? 1,000 reps?
10,000 hours.
10,000 hours. 10,000. So that just with these notions being applied to stuff like this is going to make it hard to justify that man's experience because those reps matter. You know what I'm saying?
But are we talking about? Okay, so we're talking about getting cheeks. So talking to someone new, and then proceeding to sex. That's what we're talking about. Or is it sexual experience? Because a person in a relationship for 5 years may have had more sex than someone who's been catching 5, 10, 30 bodies in the year. They're actually having more sex, getting more experience with sex to have more information than the person who's just having 30 bodies.
You notice there's a difference when we do the role play, the Discord. You know what I'm saying? For the pickup shit, you notice there's a difference in people's deliveries who are experienced versus not.
Yep.
That's just the reps.
No, 100%. I agree.
Yeah, and I think the reason why we focus on sex, which probably does our community a disservice, but we focus on it because that's what everything seems to be about. Like the crux of our conversation is getting access. Are most of us marriage minded? We say it, but the numbers don't you know what I mean?
Not to mention in our community that's a qualifier. Is like you getting cheeks.
Is touted, right?
Yeah, that's super important to us for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know where it came from, but that's super duper important.
And be nice
for men and women.
That's why I was looking at the envy aspect when we was having a conversation. CJ, what's poppin', man? Oh, go ahead, be nice.
No, I was gonna say that makes perfect sense. Yeah, go on, CJ.
So I'm on it. So to Sean Boston analogy, we still got to see who we're teaching. So the teacher, the boxing coach, don't just he's not going to teach me and you the same way. You're going to have different things that you're going to be taught, and I'm going to have different things I'm going to be taught, because we have different body style, different body types. You heavyweight, I'm a like light heavyweight, middleweight. So they have to see us. They got to know what's our best attributes, what's our least best attributes. They got to kind of know what's the word, like in depth. So when they try to shut the men up, that's trying to speak their experience. They got to know what my experience is for you to even give me the advice that you need to give me. You can't give me advice if you don't know my experience. You just saying, hey, that's not real. So shut up. No, my shit is real. We're all experiencing this shit. Like B-Nice said, we're all having relationships. All of us deal with relationships. So you can't invalidate my experience. You need to hear what I'm going through so you can give me the proper advice. I don't have your good looks. I don't have your charm. I don't have what you have. So you need to kind of dictate or dedicate this advice that you're giving me to me. I know I didn't use the right words, but you need.
This is so interesting. Oh my god!
Optimize. He's trying to use optimize.
It's advice to me.
CJ, you just made my point. I don't even have the expertise to know what you just said. You got that expertise. I wouldn't have the wherewithal to even know, like, yeah, hey, I'm this type of this. I don't know that shit. Go to CJ.
That's why you need to hear me tell you. That's what
CJ. Yo, you gotta let me say this shit while it's on my head, bro.
Go ahead.
This is interesting, right? Because I'm thinking about, let's take it off men and women and do black people and racism. And I just heard CJ, you have to consider, I don't have charm, I don't have the looks, Now let's translate this to black people talking to white people about our foundation and not having the resources, and you get called a victim. You get put in the victim Olympics. Now as men, we have to consider that you don't look good, you don't have charm in regards to women. We have to treat you with soft gloves because you're not the apex man. That's very interesting. That's
ridiculous. We understand that most people don't start at the same spot. People give pity or give grace to people that's on the bottom. They don't just say, "Hey, you got to be like Donald Trump." I don't care how much money you started. That's a fucking ridiculous argument that you made. We understand.
That's not what happens, CJ.
Be nice might not reach the level that somebody else that like Trump, or that I might not reach the level of a certain person because I didn't start where they started. Even though we all have opportunity to get to a certain place in life. We don't have to stay at the bottom. Is the point that we argue against black people or white and racist shit? It's a whole different argument.
What I'm saying is the consideration that you're asking, right? Let's just say that the men who are considered high on the totem pole disregard those things you just mentioned. Because that's what you're saying, right? And you're saying it's not fair for him to do that. He should consider your deficits when we have these conversations. He should consider that you're not the most attractive, that you don't have the most charm.
If you're trying to give him advice, yes.
So what's the argument? Are we still talking about just getting cheeks? Because like Be Nice introduced something when Sean and him was going back and forth, and as y'all talking, I'm like building it in my head, right? I know a lot of cats who pre-selected, pre-qualified, no problem. Walk in the room, panties drop, right? I also know these cats on an intimate level, pause, to where when it came to the relationship aspect, they suffered. They had no clue how to navigate them waters. So getting the cheeks was easy, but I would argue you should be good at both. Like getting the cheeks is that's just the starting point. To maintain, in my opinion, a woman over a long period of time, long period could be 3 years, 5 years. To me, what's the argument? Are we saying, I hear Sean saying, well, don't talk to me, you ain't qualified. So which part, I guess, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Right. So Sean, I just want to, because I think since CJ was kind of responding to the analogy, it's like those people who don't know keep talking while the coach trying to talk. That's the difference. They keep talking when the coach is trying to teach. So they not letting the coach and they don't even have the experience. Right? And then also the coach, because he has so much experiences, can teach both our archetypes. So he'll give you what you need to be successful and me, and it's totally separate.
I'm seeing more like Michael Jordan is at the top of his game, so he can see that I'm struggling to do what you're doing.
You can see the boxing analogy then?
No, well, boxing, whatever. Mike Tyson, he can't see that I can't do what you're doing.
Here's what I'm asking though, right? Because the analogy was coach. Like this, what you said, coach. So are you switching?
No, but I'm saying if Michael Jordan or this person's trying to coach me to be who they are, I can't be who you are. I don't have the tools to be who you are. You're Mike Tyson. There's only one of you. I can be maybe a different version of Mike Tyson, but I can't do what you have the power, the explosion. My legs don't go that. So when I'm telling you, coach, my legs just aren't that strong. You keep telling me, well, get them stronger. I can't do it. It's not going to be, it's not possible. Maybe you can try a different technique, a different way to get this. I'm not Jordan. I can't be Michael Jordan.
That's not what.
So maybe you could teach me how to be a different version of Michael Jordan, or a different, like a Kobe or something. I don't know if you understand the analogy.
My problem, and I get where you're going, CJ. The problem with what Shad was saying is when it comes to those like that victimhood, it usually people understand where the person starts. So if someone started from the projects and then they made it out of college into a corporate job, everyone's gonna be like, great job, amazing, that's fantastic progress. But if you're the kid of a business owner who your mom's a doctor, dad's a lawyer, cousins are brain surgeons, and then you only make it to the corporate level, they're not going to say you did shit. So it all depends on where you start and what your actual the people around you baseline is for how good or bad your experiences is, and how good you are at whatever it is. You know,
the conversation is a little bit messy. Like it's not coherent. right? So let's say we just stay with the sports just for a second, right?
Mhm.
Here's the other thing, right? When we stay there, nobody's telling Michael Jordan to shut up. Nobody's telling Michael Jordan, hey, you should listen to me too, right? The nigga on the end of the bench is doing what the fuck Mike tell him to do, right? Because if we having that conversation, we got to stay consistent. You know what I'm saying? I remember, I swear to, I went to school, right? And I'm like, man, I swear to God, right? Because I wasn't playing at first, right? And my boy Carl, right? We tight now. Carl made this play. I was like, I don't think I would have made that play. You know what I said? Let me go get ready for kickoff team, nigga. I didn't say, well, Carl, teach me that, or Carl, show me that, or well, I could do that. No, I said, Carl, you the fucking man, bro. And I got my $5 ass on the kickoff team and bust the wedge down.
But nobody tell you.
That's the other. Hold on. That's the other aspect of this too, right? I wasn't telling Carl, well, he can't fill the hole as good as me. Pause. That nigga did some fucking fantastic shit. I said, yo, let me go get ready to, because I was like, yo, that shit was amazing. So we got these dynamics that just are just very odd when we start talking man shit.
But nobody tell you to shut up. Nobody tell the men at the top. Nobody told Sean to shut up when he's telling his stories.
They do.
No, they don't. They don't tell him to shut up. It's the reason because if they do tell him,
I've been subject to that. Yeah, 100%.
All right, I'll stick with you. They don't say shut up, Hamp. They say Hamp. We understand that you have these top-notch experiences, but we are not those men. You were a football player. You were this. You were that. You were this. You have all these qualities that made you get those experience. We are not that.
That's the
so
shut up,
you
bro.
can talk to us from a level of where we are at.
That's
then
the
we
shut
can
up.
hear you. That's not shut up. It just talk to me at my level. I'm not Michael Jordan. You like you said with the boy. It wasn't you. You didn't.
You're trying to frame it with the level of diplomacy that doesn't exist there, right?
Yeah.
So what actually happens, right, from being subject to it, and nobody's being mean or rude to me, right? I'm not saying that. I'm saying they like, Hamp, you don't know what it's like, right? So every time you talk, that is irrelevant to us. See?
No, because you're not putting yourself in their shoes. You're just saying, I did it from here. I don't care where y'all at. I did it from here.
That's what Shaw was saying. That's what Shaw was saying, right? Why so much consideration? These are men also. Why are you asking for all that? These are men also. Damn, it came full circle.
Appreciate your articulate. I didn't get you. Appreciate that. Appreciate the alley hoop.
Because I'm trying to give people advice. I need to meet them where they are at. I can't just give them advice from where I'm at. I gotta understand what happened to why are they where they're at, and how can I help them get to where I'm at?
CJ, that ain't
hard. Maybe that would help you.
CJ, that's not.
Go ahead.
My bad. You're on mute if you're trying to talk, brother.
My bad, CJ. I didn't mean to interrupt you. My bad.
Go ahead.
But look, I get what you're saying, but that's not how it goes. How it goes is you a super nigga. So I can't listen to you. I can't do that. Then you be like, look, bro, this all you gotta do. And then when you try to do exactly what you just said, hit them with this all you gotta do. Oh no, that might work for you, or it becomes excuses as to why they can't do that. And that's where I'm like, oh no, niggas don't want no help.
Let me tell you why I understand this, because I understand shit quickly. And I used to project that on everybody else. But I had to realize everybody can't understand or do the things I do. They're not me. It might take them a little more time to understand this. So me rushing them, getting mad that they don't understand it, it's not gonna help nobody. That's what it is.
CJ, a real life example, CJ. The first thing you would say to me if you felt like I was a nigga who didn't get no women, you would tell me I need to do what? The very first thing you would tell me.
Get in shit.
Bam, right? Exactly. Now, a lesser nigga would be like, well, it ain't gonna make a difference, right? But in my head, I already know that's what I need to do. So you gave me a prescription, and I'm like, damn, he right. I ain't gonna fight you on that. Ain't no CJ, but it's easy for you because your metabolism faster than mine. Ain't no excuses. You don't want to hear that shit. You want to say, nigga, get your fat ass in the gym. That's it, right? That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you ain't.
But I'm not gonna act like it's so. It's just so. I'm not gonna not. All right, go ahead, man. Y'all can shake your head, but what I'm saying is true. What I'm saying is, I think
CJ, gotta be easy, CJ.
I'm saying it's real.
You gave me the right answer. It ain't got to be easy for me. That ain't your business. Whether it's easy for me or not, but you gave me the right prescription.
Yeah, there's an opportunity for us to.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying that there's an opportunity for us to reconcile, right? The things that are being said are pretty valid based on how we look at everything else. Because remember, that's what we were talking about, like with Be Nice. Like, yo, we look at everything like, yo, the qualified, the unqualified, who's done it for a longer time, what's been their success rate, and now, and in the race, that's why when Sean made that analogy, now you're asking for considerations that we as men know, right? At least the sentiment is that we don't get them, right? And it's just a part of it. But now we want these considerations, which is just is interesting.
That's weird. Then y'all, why y'all ask for the considerations on the other side then? With the race thing.
You're not.
If y'all know that we as men don't
got to be a
them,
part of the conversation, though, right? Like, so what if right now you're wrong? What if that's a probability right now based on what we've been discussing?
I always take that into consideration. I think y'all don't take that into consideration. Every time I start speaking, y'all just start shaking your head without even giving my concept thought. I think y'all could not be wrong in this situation, which y'all are.
No, here's the thing about it, right? You make assertions, right? Because you aren't paying attention. So, like, as an example, in the boxing analogy, when you and I were discussing it, you pivoted it from us. You didn't even acknowledge what I said or anything after it. You just pivoted to Michael Jordan. So nobody's not listening. It's like we having a conversation and then you go to a different example that you think will align better with your previous point, when we should have just finished discussing the boxing code, but we never even got an opportunity to.
Well, I didn't think I was pivoting because it was staying on sports, and I just wanted to bring the best sports person ever to the conversation and say we all can't be that person. So him talking to us like we're going to achieve what he achieved is damn near, it's going to be hard. So he understand who he's talking to. He's going to look at LaMelo Ball and say, this is what you're good at, so I'm going to try to coach you in these areas. That's all I was mentioning.
Except for, like I said,
just as good. Huh? That's what.
I said, though, right? You literally skirted past us conversing about the boxing coach in that analogy, right? It's not the boxing coach.
Muhammad Ali. You're not going to be Muhammad Ali. That's why I switched it to Mike Tyson.
Like, come on, man.
It's talking about the coach.
Emphasis on coach. You said boxing coach, and then you said Michael Jordan, right? So when you're acting like nobody listening to what you're saying, we were conversing about that, and then you pivoted elsewhere. Now we got to have a conversation about the conversation. But this is a build, right? And so there may be a few different opinions that may change during this conversation. That's all I'm saying, right? Because this is something I'm mining through.
I had to make it analogous because if they're the best, they're coaching me to be the best like them. That's why I didn't have no coaches that were just the best at what they were doing. It didn't have transferred to, that was the best at boxing that transferred to coaching. That's why I brought up just people that were the best that transferred to these different fields.
True. You wanted to add in before we get Arnold in?
I think it's hard to. That's why I asked what we were arguing. I guess you're bringing it full circle. What are we keeping the measure of? Mm-hmm. Like I stated moments ago, knocking them down really is not that complicated. That's actually fairly easy. Maintaining them, though, is a completely different approach and requires a whole level of maturation and development within men, which I think collectively, if we talk about just our community, we're not good at that. And you can see that because men get the girl, get the woman, and now they scrambling. They don't know what to do. But that's why I'm saying, are we building past a point? Are we still on the super niggas and non-super niggas? Like, I don't know where we're at. That's for clarity.
Yes, true. I think you're on point. I'll go ahead, be nice, and then we'll get Arnold.
I was gonna say, I think I want to keep it on the boxing coach because there's gonna be someone with really lanky arms. It's gonna be someone with really short T-Rex arms, and the coach is he understands boxing, but he also understands that there's limitations in this guy's reach versus another guy's reach. So the way he's gonna be playing in the box instead of outside is gonna be different. So the coach is actually going to taper what he usually teaches based on what the actual person's situation is. If they're super tall, then they're not going to have issues, with any range. But up close, they're going to have issues. So that's what the coach is going to be teaching more how to use your weapons, which is the length,
100%,
versus being close and staying there.
100%. That's what I was saying, right? And we were saying the key to that coach being able to train everybody well is his experience, right? Seeing these archetypes of boxers over a period of time, and then teaching these archetypes of boxers over a period of time, right? He has a volume of experience, right? But we got lost.
We're not arguing
That's
man's
the thing.
experience.
We didn't even because remember we were saying what opinion is qualified. Hence the analogy of the boxing coach. That's when that came in. Because we were saying, does people's experience and stuff like that matter? Because Be Nice was saying, Be Nice and I were conversing about 100 bodies versus 2 bodies. So that literally was what was supposed to be said next. And then we pivoted to Michael Jordan. So
I agree.
that's why Be Nice kind of brought it back. You know what I'm saying?
Arnold, what's poppin'?
Perfect.
What's good, bro?
What's goody?
Hey, so I guess through the 14 days of this conversation, my nigga, I guess my conclusion is that they better at getting pussy, but they have not been able to display that they better at relationships than the regular niggas.
Now that might be something. Now, Arnold, that aligns with what I was trying. I was on a panel one day and I was telling them, Arnold, the sexual experience and escapades with women did not help me in marriage or relationship. I said that and they was telling me how not, because you have relationships with women. No, I'm having sex with women. And we know that's a different ball game. You don't give a fuck about her. Be Nice for saying it. Her, like, what she thinks about
Ideology.
yeah, you don't care about none of that, right? You don't care how she think, if she like kids, if she want kids, none of that shit matter. You don't care if she got a dad, you don't care, none of that. I'm just trying to fuck. And I was saying that and niggas was telling me, no, Hamp, that's wrong because you had physical experience with these women.
Hey, Arnold.
So what's the metric? What's the metric?
Wait, that's why Arnold, remake your statement one more time, Arnold.
My bad. I went on a diatribe.
Okay, so I acknowledge that there is a differentiation between your access to women and getting pussy versus average to below average men. Mm-hmm. I'm saying that your interface with women in a relationship is no different than these niggas interface with women in relationships.
That ain't what you said the first time, right?
I articulated it better.
So what you were saying, what you said before is that just because you get a lot of pussy don't mean you're good in relationships. That's what you said before, right?
Yeah, that was a quick in and out.
Pause. So look, to Shah's point, how would you gauge that?
So what's your current relationship status?
All right, so let's walk through it. Ask me that question.
What's your current relationship status?
I'm married. What's you said? What you saying?
I would shut the fuck up and I wouldn't argue with you.
Oh, okay. So I just wanted to confirm that was a dumb fucking way to measure it.
I'm saying I'm talking to Sean and Shot niggas I talk to every fucking day.
But I'm okay. So look, my point is that if your measurement tool is somebody being married, that has nothing to do with how successful you are in a relationship.
Nigga, you don't have the long-term relationship that you're in right now, bro. I know you. I talk to you every day. You can't do this shit with me.
No, you're not talking about how you measure.
Don't do this. Don't do this.
Premise.
I was calm, nigga. Don't do this. Don't make up something new.
How do you measure the premise, Arnold?
Something new, bro.
How do you measure the premise, Arnold?
Nigga,
with everybody.
Have you been in a long-term relationship?
Yeah, I was married for 7 years.
Are you in a long-term relationship?
No.
So which one? Which one?
Yeah, which one is it? Is both?
Right. I apologize for misspeaking. Right. I'm speaking concise. I'm more articulate than the average nigga that come up here, bro. Are you in a long-term relationship right now?
So if I am, does that now mean I'm an expert or what?
I will shut the fuck up if you tell me that you're doing better in that long-term relationship.
Your mom and daddy was married.
I'm telling you what I'm gonna do.
You ready? All right. Your mom and daddy was married for 50 years. They get divorced. Is dad not an expert because he's no longer married?
He could tell me he was in a relationship for 50 years.
I could say I was married for 7 years. We were together for almost 20. So what are we saying? So what does it tell you about how he behaved in the relationship? What I'm saying is that
tell me how that
the shit is dumb.
Keep moving.
I will give you respect to what you accomplished, right? But don't talk to me if the niggas only experience women through relationships.
This theory ain't gonna age well, brother.
They have to positive relationships, and you were just fucking bitches. Don't act like that's the same thing.
Theory ain't gonna age well, Arnold. You're not thinking this through enough, brother.
Hey, my nigga. Hey, bro. I thought this shit through, nigga. so much so that I was confident having a fucking show and espousing my fucking concept.
Arnold, tell me again how you measure. How you measure,
my nigga?
How you
Nigga, this
measure?
shit fucking solid as fuck. And y'all two niggas is not the fucking tent poles, nigga, but it's fucking concept.
I never heard that word. Look.
So the first premise was the amount of time. The metric keep changing. That's why I thought that a conversation.
Y'all gotta fucking do it.
Yeah, the metric keep changing. It's always like this. The metric keep changing.
With women are going to have to show and prove that you can get one woman in a fucking long-term relationship.
So what's the average relationship span for the average man?
The CJ oh my fucking mama, bro.
What's the average? What's the average metric for an average man in a relationship?
My nigga, hey, bro.
So look at this though.
Make a fucking statement, Shad.
Hey, wait.
You have an idea what you think the long-term relationship is. Give us the fucking number instead of asking a fucking question.
So this part, right? So let's say Arnold had.
My boy be angry, man.
He in his mind had to be in a relationship with the woman in order to get access. He was also married for, was it 5-6 years? Right? 7 years? 5 years?
5 total.
5 years. And every time he slept with a woman, he was like, I thought I had to be in a relationship with her. Now, let's say I slept with like exponentially more women, just straight slept with, right? I'm married now, but for the majority of my life, relationship and marriage I wasn't in those. If we talking about how to get in a relationship and be good at it, would you go to me or would you go to Arnold?
You married still. Why we playing? This is what we're talking about, man.
This is why I'm not playing, because Sean is divorced now. So, but he was married for 7 years. So does that get thrown out as well if you have to be in that current the current relationship at that time, you see? So that's why I'm giving it consideration, because all of your experience matters, not just what your current construct, right? Mm-hmm. You see, that's why I'm thinking about it, Sean. So that's I'm married currently, but Sean was married for 7 years and et cetera, et cetera. So what do we do with that information? He's not married now, so we say, Sean, get the fuck out of here.
What you do is you get both. Hey, I got two homies. I got Hamp and I got Arnold. Arnold was married and Hamp is currently married. I'm gonna talk to both my boys and see what they say. I'm not gonna disqualify either opinion. You know what I'm saying? If Arnold say something good, I'm married at all. Arnold got that from experience. Hamp say something good. Damn, Hamp got that from experience. Yeah.
So look at this. Let's do it like this. So I'm married currently, right? Arnold was married for 5 years. Sean was married for 7 years, right? CJ wasn't married at all. He fucked a bunch of bitches, right? Who do you talk to about marriage?
The person is married
currently. Why is that more substantive in your opinion?
Because you're still married. You're still maintaining it. Yeah, you still have it. The reason why I'm annoyed, Help, because you're master at what you do, right? Because we was having a general conversation. Arnold comes up, big shoulders, making it personal, right? So he came up with a metric, and I wanted him to stand on the metric instead of sliding. He started by saying, the average man. I want to know what's the average man's time span in a relationship, so I can see where I fit in. Since he made it personal.
I'm asking that question, my nigga. You have a fucking midpoint, and where the fuck Sean stand? Tell us how the fuck you feel.
Just answer the question, bro. You came up with the metric.
Let's see.
Okay, so him, my last relationship.
No. Wait. Stop. Now, Arnold, he's right on that. You said that it was about how long a nigga was in a relationship. What did you quantify as substantive enough for a man to stand on regarding relationship? Because you presented the premise. 1 year.
My last relationship was 5 years. Okay. Just as long as Arnold's marriage. Now what? My longest relationship was 7.
somehow, my nigga, your fucking wholehearted love of black woman and love of black people didn't get you into a fucking marriage.
Moving again. See, on the moving again. This is the vitriol. This is the personal stuff. He don't want to have a conversation.
Oh, God, he was in the middle of a sentence.
This one makes it corny. This one makes y'all niggas do corny.
Middle of a rant.
Now you trying to make it personal. Shit corny, bro. It's cornball shit. Cornball shit.
Nigga, you don't gotta keep saying the same shit. We heard it. We heard it.
Cornball shit. That's what you doing.
What, nigga? You won't stand no shit. You won't even ask your own question.
Hey, Arnold.
What's your next?
Hey, Arnold. You ever heard of couch chocolate?
Cornball shit. Cornball shit.
Nothing. What I know about this nigga Sean, you don't got a metric for nothing. Everything is fucking wavery, my nigga. It could be this, it could be that. I can't make a fucking decision. Because if it's not 100%, Sean's scared to fucking death to stand on something.
If you scream it enough, it'll be true. I've learned the internet. I've learned the internet ways. You say it enough, it's true.
He's not screaming no more.
Arnold, you ever heard of Count Chocula? And if so, have you ever seen
the sidekicks every time to get in?
Right.
Hey, I don't think it's fruitful for men to shame men on the measure of not married or married, at least in my opinion. Mainly because
it's the thing to do.
Well, because we set the tone.
Be careful, True. Be careful, True.
I don't know. No, I'm gonna stand on what I say. I don't think. I don't think like.
Be careful, bro.
No, I'm gonna stand on what I say. We ultimately set the tone.
These two niggas is smart. They know what the fuck you just did. These two niggas is smart.
I wanted to get all respond to my amount of time to see where I'm at in his metric. We didn't get a chance to do that.
True expound.
Oh well, I was letting them go. Nah,
you look entertained.
That's something, in my opinion, like females would do. Like we ultimately, you can be in a situation dependent and assess that woman at a certain point. And let's say it ran. Sean, I'm just use you an example. 5 years. There could have been a multitude of things that occurred: a death in her family, her lack of willingness to participate, where you set the tone on what you was building, and you decide to step back. That does not mean that, in my opinion, you necessarily failed because it didn't mature to marriage. But it's like we borrow from both sides. Oh, you ain't married, so you ain't got nothing to say. It's like that's feminine to me. He's a man. He ultimately is gonna be the one that says, "This is where I set the tone for my relationship in my life."
So wait, is the opposite true? You're married, so you gotta be the mostest talk?
No, I didn't say that.
I'm asking you the question. Is the opposite true? Do the married person get to be the most to talk?
I think there's validity to somebody that is in a current marriage, sure. But I don't think it's a most to talk or a less to talk. I'm saying we shouldn't shame men.
So you can't invalidate someone for not being married, but you could validate them for being married. That's your premise.
I wouldn't invalidate either. I'm saying don't
you
shame
said
men.
that the person that's married get more validation, right?
I didn't say more valid. I said there's validity.
Validity.
There's validity to that person talking more if there was a conversation about relationships. That's what you said. That's all you said.
The jump that we make, right, as black men in these conversations, my nigga, is about access to fucking pussy. When I'm saying that the baseline is that the average black man has access to relationships.
Huh?
Say it one more time, Arnold.
So the that we have is that the black men in these conversations, right, say, oh, access to pussy is here. Access to relationships, my nigga, is irrelevant. I'm saying that the average black man has access to relationships.
Who argued that specifically?
No, you discounting their experience is what I'm saying is happening. That's why I said y'all niggas say y'all got so much access to pussy, my nigga. Where is y'all niggas showing that you can have matriculate a woman through a relationship?
Arnold, tell me.
And also, period, comma, nigga, semicolon, nigga, right now.
Tell me an industry or an aspect of life where experience isn't more valuable than inexperience.
Give me your thought, my nigga. Stop asking fucking questions.
No, you just attacked the fact that I valued experience. Do you disagree?
I'm not answering the question.
Oh well, I'll talk to somebody else. I ain't finna play this stupid ass game with you, nigga.
I'll answer your question. Sean, this will be quick, True. I think relationships will be more firm if people had less sexual experience. If I was just answering Sean's question because he asked.
Okay, you say you think relationships would be more firm if people have less sexual experience?
Yes.
Maybe.
The only caveat or pushback I would have is if one or both of the people still have a desire for more sexual experience and they feel like they can't get it within their relationship, then it may drive them out. But otherwise, I agree with you.
Okay. Yeah. 100%. I can see. Yeah. You know, people be wondering what grass is greener, you know, but it's hard to miss what you never experienced, you know.
Like Aisha Curry, kind of the way that she talking and their criticism of her, it's like she kind of act like she want to, you know what I'm saying, taste the rainbow outside.
What's up, Mo? How you? Hey, listen, I just need. Hi, good to have you. I just need you to look in the private chat. All right.
Okay.
I think it's a dual-sided argument, though, because if you materialize a relationship, sex is by default. So it's like to say a dude ain't getting access, yo, you got a girl, like you getting some, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? You got a lady, you gonna meet in the bedroom. I would assume consistent. So I don't know how a dude with shame, oh, you got to get a girl in a relationship to get some, like that's gonna occur in a relationship.
Okay, one second. I'm sorry.
She need a sweater on or something.
I have a sweater on. I'm sorry.
Let her be. Let her be.
I'm sorry.
Y'all let a lady come in here and distract everybody. Like ain't nothing.
That's why I told y'all.
They're focused, bro.
I said, hey, read in the back. Read in the private chat. That's all.
Is it better?
Yeah.
Yeah. You see how distracted these dudes are. Come on, man.
Matter of fact, let's go get the hoodie real quick, please.
Yeah, please. I don't get enough pussy. I don't get enough pussy. Please.
The hoodie.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can put that curtain over your shoulders like a shawl.
Let me see.
Man, hey guys, you gotta take clues from me. If I say, "Hey, Moon, look in the private chat," that means y'all hush, huh? True.
Okay, you want me to put on a hoodie? Okay, this is. I didn't think it was that bad. I'm so sorry.
No, it's not. I'm just thinking it's not you. Look, Moon. See what I'm saying? They forgot about it. We was having a conversation.
What if I do this?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. His first comment all day. Goddamn.
Perfect. Hey, so my bad. What was the conversation right then?
You made it. You know he forgot.
What True was saying.
What's your favorite?
Oh, what's True, sir?
Yeah. So Moon, you've been. I think I saw you in the chat when you initially started, right?
Mm.
So what's your overall take? So you hear the back and forth that we're having, right? There's a discrepancy between getting access to sex. You heard it. Go ahead. I don't need to respond.
I didn't hear all of it. That's why when I came in, I was like, oh no, I probably missed a bunch because I went to go shower and stuff. And so I don't fully know where you are in the conversation. I heard little like clips of like having a hard time getting access to sex, the issues among young men. So I'm not too sure where you guys left off in the conversation. My apologies.
So here's the crux of one of our biggest plights that we have is that, you know, it's men who will come and say, no, women aren't that bad. I'm just trying to summarize it really quick, right? And they'll always have something to say against the women who are giving critique to the women. And those men that are giving the critique, the sentiment is that they want relationships, but they want good relationships, not bad relationships. And there's other men that seem to come and kind of derail the conversation about the women needing correction, so to speak. And then another retort to the men who always kind of interject in the conversation while the women are being critiqued. And they're like, well, if these women, there's so many great women out here, why ain't you married to one? So that's kind of like how the conversation matures into like men being called white knights and things of that nature.
Okay, I see what you're saying now. Yeah, I do think that happens a lot. I do think it's fair. Like, I think men are allowed to critique women the same way I would critique men. I think that's completely fair. I think sometimes though men take it a little bit too far. Some of them, not all of them. Where the critiques.
Most of them do.
I would say a good majority, at least from what I'm witnessing online, at least. Okay. But I don't want to say all of them. But I do think a majority take it a little too far, where their critiques start to turn into more like hatred in a way of the other gender. And it seems like they're just more angry towards women. And like I said, there's no problem critiquing their behaviors. Like, that's perfectly fine. But I think once you cross that line into hatred, it becomes very blurry. And I think that's why you do have some of the guys that you call white knights, and some of the guys that will say, hey, you know, you're taking this too far.
Okay. Now that. Okay. Go ahead, B9. I see your face.
I want to add.
Go ahead.
No,
Hold on, B9. I just want to clarify something, Kemp, because from my estimation, it's not. There's so. That's a disingenuous things they do as a retort, right? Because they think that's what's being said. Like, yeah, the women are perfect. So what are y'all talking about? And then their retort to that is, well, you should be able to find one. Well, what I'm saying is, these quote unquote fucked up women that we all talk about, guess who they are perfect. Guess who they perfectly align with? Us. Because we're flawed too. So these women that we like to distance ourselves from, as if like, that's why I say I came online and I realized the best men in the world all existed online in these boxes. I learned that as I started watching YouTube, like as if like we all in the same pot together, right? We might have different issues, but we deserve them the way they deserve us. Now we all got to work together. That's what the real conversation is. It ain't about them being perfect. It ain't about them being without blame. That's the narrative that gets spun because it makes the content better. That's no one saying that.
I think
what I'm saying, the way they are described in certain conversations, I'm saying y'all talk like y'all aren't amongst them, like y'all on the hill looking down at the scum.
We have a ton of room for improvement, but you agree.
Yeah, we all do. We all have a ton of improvement, room for improvement. Sure.
Wouldn't you say the sentiment in the earth exists that most of the time when we're thinking about the worst of human behavior, typically what populates in your mind is a man? Because there's not a lot of agendas, there's not a lot of propaganda behind women's horrible behavior. Women have horrible behavior, bro. Period.
For sure.
I don't hear enough men say women have horrible freaking behavior. Period. Like, leave it there, build. That's what I think that you get the response on. Like now,
real quick, to her point. If we see a man come in and attack a woman on one of these panels or in real life, most men are gonna step in and say that you're taking it too far, brother. Especially if it looks like hate. Nobody's gonna sit here and watch a man attack a woman that's being just regular, benevolent, and just chilling, and a man just and start calling her out of her name and shit, and the men are just gonna be sitting there laughing and giggling. They're gonna be like, nah, brother, you're taking it too far. Don't call her out her name. Don't do this. Don't do that. Especially if she haven't done anything to you. That's why.
Not true.
Oh, sorry. I think that's
not true at all. You got it all.
I think lately there's like this new generation. Once again, I have to preface it by saying not all men, where I think they are on the sidelines a little bit more in order to impress each other. So I think because maybe there is this issue between men and women, it's seen as like, well, I don't want to help the women anymore because screw them, they're doing all these bad things. And I was going to ask, I think, Table, when you say that women have all these horrible behaviors, though I agree with you, I guess I was looking for more specifics. If there's something specific that women are doing where you're seeing this horrible behavior, if we're going to compare it to men.
Perfect. I believe that there's always been women have the ability to exist in a world where we give them privilege and give them a lot more advantages socially. So basically, a lot of the time we're talking about creating relationships, they have no idea how to approach it because one, they're not building relationships. Women can't tell you how to build a relationship because they don't start them. They can't tell you how to cultivate one because they're not the archetypes of it. So when I say horrible behavior, they typically are in the advantage position of always being the pursuit. And what typically happens, it's like a child. When you spoil a child, you give them no chores, you give them no objectives, you give them no way of looking at the world, cause and effect. That's how women are, typically. So that's why when I say they're horrible, when you get them and they're not prepped correctly, typically you're talking about our community, not having fathers, not having strong male leadership, you asking them to be mindful of their home, you telling them to be mindful of their dress. This is jarring to them. So to me, I'm using the word horrible because it is jarring of a terminology. And that's where you say men will be like, no, they're not that bad, bro. No, they are. They're like undeveloped in a lot of ways, and that's what I'm referring to. And then you have men who are on the maybe lower spectrum of dealing with it, who get the raw form when you're not the attractive one or you're not the guy that they like. Those dudes know exactly what I'm talking about, and I'll land.
And one of those social advantages that True said is that men will protect them on the panels. I just want to say that because they act like I'm lying.
That's the thing for you.
I don't know who that was.
Oh, can you repeat what you said? Sorry, I didn't catch the last part of what you said.
One of the social advantages is that men will protect them when they come on the panels. It's back to my last point.
Oh, okay. I guess like I said before, of course there are horrific behaviors. But and I'll go to your point first, CJ. When you talk about the panels, for example, I think sometimes men have to protect like women on these panels because at least from what I've noticed, and of course I have to use like my own evidence, that like we'll have conversations and then we'll be attacked immediately, called like a bitch and a whore and stuff of that nature. And then it's kind of like we don't exactly know what to do when they're coming at us like that. And it's probably for most women, it's not fun arguing with a man on that level. So I do think other men usually take on that responsibility to say, hey, let's calm it down a little bit, because let's be honest, men are usually going to listen to other men. They typically don't really like to listen to women. And I think we can all admit to that. And when you talk about horrible behaviors, talk about prepping, though I do think there's an issue of fathers not being in these children's lives or these women's lives, as you say. I would say, wouldn't that really be the fault of men then? If we're saying that women don't have these things because of men, then I think the issue points to the fact that men aren't there. They aren't being the leaders that they need to be in the home, as you're kind of mentioning. And I think our community struggles with this idea of control. Though you may not like the way a woman dresses, that's between you and your partner. I think it all kind of relates back to control in a little bit of a way. But yeah.
Well, I agree. I agree with what you're saying. I will hold the men accountable for their lack of existence in these homes or relationships. There's always going to be nuance. There's always going to be circumstances, right? Valid point. But at a certain point, because the effects of the fathers not being there is equally impactful for the young boys that are in these same situations, right? But since we are highlighting the behavior of women, there just, in my opinion, needs to be credence to that. There's a maturity that just does not exist amongst both of us, male and female alike. So relationally, like we're talking about men getting skins, getting butt, getting ass, getting access, that's easy. I think we socially, romantically know how to do that very, very, very well. Relationally, however, I think that's where things start to fall off, and you can see it on both ends. Again, that's why I'm saying Chad is saying, well, yeah, not all women are bad, and there's hospitable women. You go to the grocery store, auntie is gonna be like, hey boy, how you doing? We are polite.
Yeah,
that's casual. When we get into the minutia of the relationship, you see that there's an underdeveloped approach to it. There's expectations that are not realistic. They're not grounded. They're not quantifiable a lot of times, and everybody's all over the place.
So I guess my question would be, do you think that's the fault of social media? Like, do you think social media has kind of influenced both of us to be like that, in your opinion? Just kind of curious. Like,
I think that there's always been, I think social media is a machine that has exacerbated the delusion of young ladies now. I think that if you just even go back some years, 20, 30, 40 years ago, TV and propaganda has always impacted women a lot more than it has impacted men. Speaking to the point that I'm saying, as a man, we get introduced to real very early. I don't think women have ever stood on the line and being picked for a game. Like when you on the blacktop, if you suck, you don't play. That's just how that goes. Girls, it's not like that. Everybody can play. Everybody can build a house or whatever because you guys move and socialize differently. That's not the experience of men. So it's the same thing in dating. The same thing. And by the time we get to the point where we're approaching the girl to go out or trying to ask for a date to prom and stuff, we've been battle tested. Y'all don't get those experiences. So that's why I'm saying it is, I don't think it's social media. I think social media has made it worse.
So let me just kind of bring it a little bit back and maybe I didn't do a great job of articulating the moon with what the conversation
My
was
apologies.
supposed to be about. No, that's not me. Let me just read these real quick. Nathaniel, what's popping with the 10 says having more sex without relationships increase your experience and success with having sex without a relationship. You will be a professional at not having sex or not maintaining relationships. Steph with the 10 says, when did telling the truth considered hatred? Platform said fire conversation between apex archetypes. AL with the $5 says through observation, both married and unmarried as a collective have given terrible advice on marriage. They may understand their marriage, but not overall. How you say? The Ganser lifestyle with the $5 says, what y'all cooking up about over here? I come from the YouTube travel space. Whole bunch of stuff, good brother. Today is kind of men versus the movement, men versus men more so. And Sam with the $5 says, if you can't shame someone for not being married, don't then turn around and shame someone for being an internet nigga. The principle is the same. Aaron with the $2 says, true is keeping it balanced, but he's being ignored. Omar with the $5 says, let's take a drink. We're cousins and family. I'm going to get apple juice though. Omar with the $5 says, don't forget, we are cousins. Matt P with the $2 says, man, get back to what True is talking about. Aaron with the $5 says, there's men who can say whatever and she get wet. And then there's men who get sent to HR sexual harassment classes are for a reason. Steph, what's popping?
What up, buzzing, bird flipping dozen. Holla at your boy, you thought your cousin was.
Thank you, Steph, for joining the family. Welcome to the family, cuzzo. Good to see you, man. Hit the like button. So Moon did, and it's just to everybody. Like, so, and for the guys, it's like, so where are we at with the conversation? The conversation is like either men punching down, men punching up, men having issues with other men who have access because those men act like they don't see the behavior of women, and therefore when the conversation is being had, they tend to push back against it. And so the men that are saying, yo, these issues exist are correcting those men. There's one thing that I inserted into the conversation is, are they correcting them because they're envious of the position those men have? So that's kind of where a lot of the stuff was. So where are we at with it, Shaw?
You're muted. You're muted, brother.
I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I don't think we moved far from our original point. I still think, here's what I think, like in general, have about like these conversations. I think there's a way that we pigeonhole people to have conversations on the internet, and then there's a way we have conversations as critical thinking adults when we have to deal with our everyday life. So on the internet, right? So you and I had a conversation, and you asked me if I had to figure out who's more wrong, who would I pick? And I said, for me, it's like I don't have any quantitative way to really make that statement, or even really qualitative. So to me, I'm always the person that says there's issues on both sides that need to be fixed. And you said that was a weak position, right? And even Arnold said that's an indication of me not standing on something, right? Because I'm saying there are issues on both sides, but that only works in the internet. Because in real life, if I have men around me and I have women around me, right? When I talk about the problem that women are dealing with or the problem they bring to relationships, I can have that conversation with them. When I talk to men, the things they bring to the relationship, I can have that conversation with them. The idea that I got to be pigeonholed to picking a more only exists when you're having conversations online. So for people who are new to having a conversation online, having to be pigeonholed to thinking that way, is something that's not considered. Because I don't even think anybody in these boxes now, when they exist in the real world, they walk around doing, let me see, majority, minority. Oh, since it's majority, I'm gonna only talk to the women for the next 6 months. You got homeboys that are doing things that need to be corrected. You have women that are doing things that need to be corrected. And so that's where it gets hard for me to see how we further, if we only focusing on who will accept the more. And that's where we land.
Yeah, 100%. I think you're not talking about internet. You're talking about this might be risky. Because everywhere else they say some and they say both. So the reason why I don't like this statement is because that ends the conversation, right? That always exists. We understand that both parties need to improve, right? So it's like stating the obvious, right? We always know that there's some people doing something. So it's like stating the obvious, right? But in order to further a conversation on a panel discussion where we have viewers, you have to
Mhm.
make people stand on something so they
Sure.
can then defend, protect, so on and so forth, right?
For sure. For
Now,
sure.
and so yeah, why I understand very well that both sides, right? The reason why I like to pinpoint men specifically, because I think you get further faster telling the men to improve on the things that they should improve on, right? And the more accountable we are, now the women have less things to scurry, and scapegoat around, right? So
For
if
sure.
I'm on my square based on what I know to be the truth, right? The law, statutes, and commandments. Now she can't skirt past nothing because she can go see it in my actions and then read it.
Mhm.
Right. So I pinpoint men because it makes the most sense to do so because I know that we are the leaders. You
I
see,
got you.
so you see, that's my position, and I'm picking the side because I know that that'll get us further faster.
And can I just add one more piece to that? I understand it because
No,
I
for sure.
agree with you actually. In order, and when we do the sum, we can never actually have a conversation. But I wonder about the application of once we figure out who's more wrong, how does that help us? Again, what we all say is a problem. How did it get us closer to the goal? If we only, because I said this Friday, if we only highlight the negative components and characteristics of women, if that's what the majority of our conversations are, then I can assume that most men hearing how negative women are will still say, I want to go commit to one for the rest of my life. I'm assuming that's what's going to happen.
So,
But I just don't know.
but you asked a question, then you answered it, right? So that's almost a comment. You should just flip it around, right? So
Okay, right.
Yeah, if we're saying, right, and this is what that Be Nice was talking about. Do we agree as men up here that women and accountability don't go together?
Yeah.
If any one of us in that conversation be like, they accountable, they all gonna like, that nigga, he said it.
Yeah.
Now all the rest of us get ignored. That's the key to that. So you have to be like, yo, this is a real issue, right? And there's no way to skirt past it. And we can flip it on men about whatever the things that they say we do. Like they say, all men cheat, right? If one woman fuck around and say no, they don't, they gonna say, see, Stacey said it, right? We got to be willing to accept truth overall, right? Because there's how people move in the earth that kind of people make assumptions about you. All black men are killers. All black men are this, right? And if we continue to exude and exalt things, then they keep us under that premise. So that's just the conversation.
Last thing I'm gonna say here, right? That was a comment. This is my last comment, right? And this is just how I feel about what's happening. I think what you do is amazing, and which is why people are flocking to your platform the way you do it. However, you're one of many, and so that last comment I made, when I'm thinking about just in totality, what's happening, conversations are not being had the way you have them consistently. So we all consuming different content creators. And I'm saying overwhelmingly on both sides of the game, people that do this, the conversation is about the negative aspects of the other side. And that's what we're consuming. And so I'm just saying it's hard for me to assume that people consuming how negative men are, how negative women are, how negative relationships are, is going to make us get to this goal to want to be together. You
100% on point on that. People want their presupposition to be confirmed, right? Every time I have the conversation, and I don't even know if I'm being hyperbolic when I say every, I'm talking about the men, I gotta fight them niggas about keep talking about the men. If I'm talking about the women, I gotta fight them about keep talking about the women. So it happens, like, depending on the subject matter for sure, right? Which also kind of presents itself in a way in which you saying like, yo, right? Because when we get implicated in the conversation, then we start to fight it and we start projecting it. We don't like it because it's us. I think that happens with people overall. I'm done talking. I'm talking a lot.
Something was mentioned, and I don't want to go off topic. So if I am, just like let me know. But you said that women are not accountable. But I guess my question would be, do you think modern men are accountable today? Do you think they are as accountable or hold themselves to like a higher standard?
Are you asking me, Moon?
Or anybody? But yeah.
Yeah, I've been talking a lot. If y'all want to go. You moon off subject, but y'all seem like y'all laughing.
I'm so sorry.
All right, Moon, I ain't gonna tell nobody else. There's only 300 people.
No, good question. It's
Go ahead. I think they want to answer it, so that's why I'm letting it go.
Someone can answer it first. I'm gonna think about it.
I think accountability again is baked in, Moon. That's what I don't believe. I'm gonna just what is generalized. I don't believe women understand that accountability is baked into our existence. That's just, you can't live as a man and not be accountable. Our consequences in life are immediate. If you F up, it's typically immediate that you see the opposite response. So yes, we can't escape accountability.
Yeah,
we created an environment where you guys can.
True. I want to move it around a little bit, but you know what you're saying? No, they aren't.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying that a society will hold them as such, but if they had the freedoms and they had the lack of prosecution, like we see in the numbers, like with women, then I would argue that they would just be more as less accountable as we think women are if society didn't push us to that account.
Something that I wanted to mention, and I wanted to use this as an example, and
I'd like you gotta get a few more responses to your initial question.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, be nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think what Ham said is true. Like in general, most people don't. If they don't have to be held accountable, they're not going to want to be held accountable, and they're not going to be held accountable. So I think the majority men understand what accountability is. Whether or not they hold themselves to a standard or not is the question, really. I wouldn't agree. I think most men just kind of change based on what's going on with the world, whatever the situation is, and however they can benefit the most from being the way they are is how they're going to act. So I don't think there's actually that much we're holding ourselves to any type of standard but I do think people are I think they dodge accountability in majority, probably. Yeah.
Hey, you know what else I say no? And I want to get Arnold, Sean, everybody. The abortion stat. Niggas forget, like niggas don't be having those conversations. Yo, what, Sean? What happened? Yo, I got Sydney pregnant. What, you Sydney from around the way? Yeah, you bugging, my nigga. What you gonna do? Yo, Sean, I try to give her $200. Like, I ain't know what to say and all. Like, niggas be acting like this shit don't be happening. You know? Arnold, you think men are accountable?
No. So I don't think men are accountable. I think that the conversations, right? Mm-hmm. Just like these two niggas up top are telling niggas to be
accountable. Here comes the spin.
I'm saying that's what happens. Right? If a man isn't accountable, there's other men beating this nigga over the head saying you need to be accountable.
Oh, that's the other point.
And that's the way I gauge who's more wrong. Right? Because there is no arena where women are telling women, hey, you gotta do better at this. You gotta do this for a man. But we got niggas like Sean and Shad doing the fucking Lord's work, telling niggas that they need to do better. All praise due to the Most High.
Yo, so men are not accountable. Men like Arnold, man, this nigga brag about being from Compton, but ain't done shit to make Compton better. You know what I'm saying? When I say, hey, all the problems in all the problems in the community.
Don't play with that, my nigga. It's like, don't play with me like that.
Pointing all day today, man.
Oh my fucking mama, don't play with me like that.
All day today, man. Stop pointing, brother. Stop pointing, brother. Why you
muted yourself, Arnold? Thank God. You muted yourself.
Mama, bro. Don't play with me, bro.
What happens? Fast forward to whatever the penalty is.
Don't play with me about how I'm not taking my city seriously, my nigga.
Whatever the penalty is for playing with you.
The whole reason, my nigga, that my parents chose to stay here, nigga, was to make sure that motherfuckers who had an education, nigga, who had the right financial stance, nigga, was in the fucking city to make it better. That I was here to make it fucking better. Don't fucking play with me with that shit. Don't play with me, my nigga.
Why not?
Don't do that. Talk about this big pussy shit. Don't talk to me about what niggas did for the fucking city, bro. That's some different shit.
Make it better. What you do to make it better?
My nigga.
What you do to make it better?
I damn near work for free in the city. right? To make sure that niggas that was 4 years younger than me after I got out of college, my nigga, had a fucking way to get to college or get to their fucking trade school to get out. How niggas who could call me, right? When they didn't have the fucking diaper money for they fucking babies that they fucking made, how they could fucking figure out how to get their next fucking job to provide for their fucking kids, they could call me. They could call Coach Arnold.
All right, shit, I stand corrected. You win. So look.
Hey, Google
right,
me,
you
Transparent
win,
California, and see what the fuck I did for the last 15 fucking years. Oh my fucking mama, don't play with me, my nigga. See what the fuck I was doing for the last 15 years. It's documented, nigga. Arnold Allen, the fucking third, Transparent California. Don't fucking play with my fucking name, Sean.
Arnold, you ain't do shit that matter though. But look, I just let you get that shit off. Look, anyway, so look, men are not accountable, right? When we had a conversation about all these issues and all these ailments in the community, these niggas like this fucker below me that's been yelling all fucking day like he intimidating somebody. I don't know why you think that shit works, nigga. This niggas like that, bro, they would rather blame the bitches instead of saying that it all starts with us men. They say we the fucking leaders, right? As if all these fucking losers are fucking leaders. All these soft ass niggas as if they fucking leaders. They say we the fucking leaders. But everything goes back to the fucking woman. Stop fucking whining, nigga. Be a man and fix some shit, nigga. Nigga, anything that needs to be fixed or built in the black community starts with the black fucking man. But you fucking goofy niggas would rather complain about fucking women. Nigga, that's goofy. That's the lack of fucking accountability, nigga. And it starts with niggas like Arnold fucking Allen the 8th that this nigga just said. Nigga. Fuck you think you fit out tough, nigga?
Yeah, the problem with that is I don't think in majority people are just saying, oh, it's the women's fault and we're the leaders. What they're saying is, in the best situation, we would be the leaders. But what's happening right now in society is not allowing for that reality to be real. And the niggas that say, oh, I'm a leader, and oh, y'all aren't real leaders, y'all don't know what the fuck you doing, are just cap. They don't lead shit. Those niggas aren't running their relationship. They acquiesce constantly, but they just don't say it. But somehow they're still the leader.
Why you assume that though? That's one thing I wanted to ask. Why do we assume that men are at a deficit? Men are doing the worst. Why do we make that assertion?
No, that's not. It's not that we're doing the worst. It's that we're not the leaders.
No, I'm saying, why do we make that assertion? Like you said, the men that say that they're leaders, you're saying they're not. Why do we make that assertion? Right? When
because a leader would
experience being validated.
Yeah, so a leader would have to have some sort of facilities to make the people under them change. You would have to be you would have to have some sort of system to make people do things, not try to coerce them or say it nicely to them to try to make them come over. No, if you're a leader, then what you say is what goes. Why
do you have you ever read Machiavelli's The Prince?
No.
Yeah, so you'd be surprised how many ways there are to skin a cat, but you're saying it should just be like, you do this because I said so. That's the only way you see a leader? Or?
No. But if you say do this, but if the person doesn't do it, you can't actually functionally punish them in a way that actually matters, then you're not actually the leader. You're just playing the part. You're just saying you are, yet society doesn't allow you to lead. Women can do what the fuck they want to do at the end of the day. So whether or not she cheats on you is not up to you. That is up to her. So you're not the leader. You don't get a choice on what she does. You don't actually get to control it because you have nothing to actually control them with.
So So is this how does this work? Like, when have you seen this in history where people didn't deal with insurrection and people not wanting to listen? Are you saying that kings weren't kings? Are you, because you know that they did things.
The kings were cutting people's heads off.
They were, but they also did a whole lot of things for approval too, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So at what, right? So,
but they have the power, hypothetically, to chop someone's head off.
Oh, you're saying so because they feared getting their heads chopped off, then that leverage was enough.
That leverage would actually work. Okay, yeah, I want to make my lackeys like me more. But whole time they're still scared of you because they can get their head chopped too.
Okay,
but that's not how it works for us.
I understand the retort.
Chop nobody's head off.
Yeah, I understand. I'm listening to it, right? I just because I have a couple more retorts, but I want to make sure I don't monopolize. If True wanted to say something to that fact, because I think the premise is off. Be nice.
Okay,
that's what I was articulating, but I didn't know if True wanted to get in on that.
No, just when he was saying, it just seems like his idea behind leadership is a little flawed in the sense of, Moon said it, we're not in control of anyone but ourselves, ultimately. But you do have influence. We are the leaders of self. You're always leader of self. If you develop a relationship through that, you are supposed to be guiding that relationship. That doesn't give you ultimate control of the person who's participating in the relationship. And that's across the board. I mean, the president of the United States can get fired from his position as the leader. So I guess the way you delivered it sounds like dictatorship, not leadership. That's how I heard it.
That would be. Which is what patriarchy should be. It shouldn't be where we're just allowing shit for no reason. If we actually believe in patriarchy, I don't. But if I did, I would be 100% with it. I wouldn't be picking and choosing parts of it.
Well, if you give it a title like patriarchy, I mean, I subscribe to manhood and manhood being what I dictate. Like I control my world. That's how I look at it. So as a man, if you call yourself a man, you control your world, your environment, your temperament, your diet, your disciplines, right? So anything you connect to your world, you should dictate in a way that it is under your level of satisfaction. I'll say it that way. It's not a control thing, but there is consequences.
And are women part of that thing? Can they even be a thing that's a part of that? Or are they their own person?
They are always their own person. But again, I said this about an hour ago. This is my outlook, Hamp. So I'm always going to continue to say this. The relationship is always ours. I think men think the relationship is theirs. It's not theirs. We are the architects of relationships. A woman's only in a relationship when we say so. She's only a wife if we give her that title. And I think that we got this idea that they solidify the relationship. They don't. That's the problem, in my opinion. So it's not a patriarchy perspective. It's a man perspective. When you understand, like Ham said, we are the leader, bro. Everything is within your realm of influence and control. The problem is that a lot of dudes don't have response for when a woman does not acquiesce to what I'm requesting. Most dudes get broken up with. Most dudes don't kick girls to the curb. I know that to be true.
Yeah, I think that you'll see similar results in Love and Fear, right? I think that people dismiss the fact of your presence mattering so much, right? People confuse a woman not listening by her having an outburst, by her being emotional. But then we also say that she's emotional, right? So then we allow things to be like, oh, well, don't get triggered by the bullshit. Don't get triggered by the trigger words. We having a conversation where we say, oh, you insecure. Give a fuck what you talking about. You're not wearing that, right? You can characterize it whatever you want, as long as you put on the jeans and the t-shirt. Right. So to be nice, we misconstrue their outburst for a man being, you know what I mean, for him not being the leader of his relationship. You know what I mean? And we don't value our presence or lack thereof. You know, and oftentimes these women, just the last thing, they buy in, right? But benevolency is a must, right? And what we do is we diminish being nice to her. Right? We think that's clown shit, right? To buy flowers and shit. Now, flowers probably don't got no fucking value, right? But my wife don't want for shit. You see? But niggas be like, I don't know. We gotta just really reconcile all the shit we say. You know what I mean?
So the thing is, it's bigger than just like your relationship, because it's a societal thing. Like even just wanting, like the desire for relationships, marriage, kids, all these different things is dependent on whether or not the society and the environment allows for it to be something that's actually attractive. if divorce court and family court is something that people are scared of, then getting a relation, there's no way you're going to convince people that they're the leader in the relationship if we've seen what's going on.
Oh, I see. Because you did the manipulation of divorce courts and all that stuff.
Because the shit's not built for you.
Yeah,
it's not built for you to win. So there is no leadership or control over it.
These are other misnomers, right? And I think that this is important to understand. Being a plaintiff and a defendant are two totally different ways, right? And you can do paperwork too to become the plaintiff, right? Men often don't. We often wait, right? And these things get us into trouble. We think that what's it called? Child support court is mutually exclusive with visitation, and it's not. So niggas be running around saying, I ain't trying to get visitation because I want to get put on child support, when those things aren't mutually exclusive. Like, you know, so there's so many things that men, we do ourselves a disservice, and people just been telling us these things. But if you ever been subject to court by any means, like, you have a different understanding. I've been subject to court for a few different reasons, right? So you get more understanding about the prosecution, the processes, so on and so forth. But we've been tricked out our drawers, right? Out our sneakers, be nice, because we haven't been edified appropriately, because other men been scared or fearful and then articulating that.
I don't,
right?
So
but men being so risk averse seems effeminate to me.
Okay, I tend to agree with you.
Talk your shit.
But when it comes to like family court or anything like that, the majority of the sentiment when it comes to men is that, hey, we just deal with it. You should be able to do that. Like, that's what we tell each other. We don't tell each other, hey, you should go like put court orders against this woman because she's doing this thing that's wrong. We say, hey, bro, you put yourself in that situation, just deal with it, man. Handle that shit. That's what we actually push.
So look, I got one more way that men that men are not accountable. Niggas sit on the internet all day and blame single moms for how people turn out, instead of saying, damn, the key piece is that the dad was missing. You hold the person accountable that stayed versus the person who left. That ain't man shit to me. I think once again that the father is the most consequential parent, and his absence is more impactful than the mom that stayed there. I think as men, it makes sense to say, you know what? Yeah, that is true. Because there's only so much a mother can do, especially with us, up to a certain age. There's only so much they can do. So far they can take us before it's Daddy Hamp's Papa, falls. It's first kid. It's his turn. Mom's gonna fuck up.
Yo, so they supposed to go to nap time, right? But if they ain't in here with me, forget about it. So look at fucking nap time.
No problem. No problem.
Yo, if they go upstairs with their mom, be nice. If I'm in here, forget about it, bro.
Yep.
Consequential. It's only so much mom can do before it's time to pass them kids off to dad, and mom got to get the fuck out of the way and don't undermine what dad is saying.
The point I was trying to get to earlier, when it comes to accountability, when we were talking about it, is that I find, and maybe it's a more modern male issue, that they aren't holding themselves and others like them accountable. And I was going to use the example of like Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez. When he shot her, instead of holding this man accountable for shooting somebody or for having an illegal weapon, they decided to hold her accountable and blame her for being shot and for him going to prison. And instead of doing any research about it or figuring out like what happened in this case, they immediately blamed the woman. So instead of holding themselves accountable, they tend to blame the woman. And I think I see this so often that it becomes incredibly frustrating. And I guess it gets to a point of when will men start to hold each other accountable in the way of violent crime, for example? Because at the end of the day, it's unfortunate because when we see men do these things, we don't want to say it's all men, but it's push against all men, because now you're kind of in a situation where it's like, who can I trust and who can I not trust? Right? So now you're getting all of these things because men aren't actually holding them accountable. And yeah, that's kind of the example I wanted to give earlier.
Okay. I have some pushback for it. Like I see where you're going. But when it comes to things like that, the majority of society has had this thing called believe all women that's been going on. So in order for us to actually make sure everything's equal and fair, we have to make sure that we're saying innocent till proven guilty no matter what. It doesn't matter if I like this person. It doesn't matter what the evidence is that's on TMZ. It doesn't matter what they're telling me. I'm not just going to initially just believe that he shot her. This is what happened. And it was some type of malicious thing when they were in a relationship. So because they were in a relationship in the past, that muddies the water. So I'm not just going to stick my hand in and say, oh, he did it. And he's an asshole, garbage human being, because they were muddying she was muddying the water with the person that she's blaming. So we can't automatically just believe what she's saying. We got to make sure that we're doing our due diligence. And no matter if initially it may look like we're not holding them accountable, the process is what the accountability is. Us making sure we go through the steps properly to facilitate giving the accountability correctly, instead of just going based on what's going on first or the initial thing we hear, is us being safe and protecting men and women from fake allegations, being blamed for things that they didn't do. We got to make sure that we do due diligence on both sides. And so that's why the accountability may not show up as quickly as we may want, but it's overall going to help everyone in general to be protected when people give fake allegations or whatever the situation may be.
Yeah, the Tory, that's a little bit. So again, I ask, man, where are we with it? What you think, Aaron, based on what you've heard? You're on mute. You're on mute.
Greetings to the panel. Yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot. What do you want to answer to, the overall show or the most recent question of are men accountable?
So really before that, honestly.
The whole show. Yeah, I mean, I guess the crux of it is just the difference between people with a valid opinion and an invalid opinion, and how do we discern the two? I think what's being lost is the purpose of the conversation, period. The conversation is too complex to try and analyze all the different things that this conversation trying to analyze. One of them being, shouldn't the experience-based opinion carry more weight? This, that, and the other. Do I need to consider the lesser experience opinion? If the mode of the conversation is to be that is constructive, if we're supposed to build, right, then the answer to questions like that should be obvious. Yes, you should consider the opinion because you're now in a didactic position to help that person. If you don't give a shit about my perspective on my failures and inabilities, then you're no longer in the coach's seat. Now, are you? And that was something, somebody said something about boxing earlier, a boxing coach coaching a boxer to their strengths and weaknesses. So if you're considered a super nigga, yes, you do have an obligation to hear out the perspectives and opinions of those you consider less super than you. If the conversation is to genuinely be built upon the premise of building and making progress and teaching and bettering society. And that's the difference between what Be Nice, I think, was making when it comes to leadership. There's a difference between leadership and dictatorship. The engine that drives leadership is the progress and the success for the group. The engine that drives dictatorship is the success of the individual. It's tyranny, right? So I think what he was saying about kings being able to cut heads off, yeah, okay, that looks a little more like tyranny to me. But when you're actually concerned with the group, now you're a leader. You're not a dictator. So you have to consider the opinions and perspectives of those you're leading.
Yeah.
Especially if you're the one with the authority due to the amount of information. It's your responsibility to disseminate that in a way that the people your flock is catching it. That's your responsibility.
Yeah.
But as given to you by the power that's been given you of having this authority.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Go ahead, Sean, you want to say something? Do you think, Aaron, and so the other thing is, right, just on the basis of the premise of like the super nigga construct, right?
Sure.
Does it also work in turn where listen, right? And then when
Yes.
you reply, they shouldn't be saying, well, nah, nigga, they like you more than you like me, right? Like, you see, it almost seems like when I'm hearing it, it's like they want the shit to be one sided though. Just listen and then like with no response type shit.
Yes, so that there are circumstances where that should happen, and this is not a some answer. I just don't know how to quantify one versus the other, so I'm just identifying the two different avenues that can take. There are cases where yes, what you're saying is the follower should listen and shut up, and where it can look like it's being pushed the other way. But then there's also the side of it where that's why you have weight classes. There are inherent abilities that you have to coach around if you're the coach. And if you are committed to that task, then you have to constantly be aware of the way the person you're coaching perceives their own shortcomings, which means there's going to be a time where they get frustrated and say, no, motherfucker, that right works for you because you're a knockout artist, because you're 250 pounds. I'm fighting in 125. There's not that much difference between jaws. You're imparting so many more pound-feet of force on that guy's face. You need to teach me how to get it from the ground. And even when you teach me that, it's not going to work. Maybe he's got to come up. Maybe he's got to go southpaw, switch his stance, do something, find a weakness in his opponent, use speed. It was said the difference between height and being short, being short. When you're short, things work for you on the inside. You can't coach that to a tall person. You got to coach them around their length. So yeah, if the coach is genuine about using their authority and their knowledge to teach and to grow and to build, then yes, they have to constantly be willing to always consider the opponent of the quote unquote lesser person. My dad always told me a parent is nothing but the bone that the child chews on to sharpen his teeth. You gotta be willing to get chewed on.
100%. Yeah, and that's what Be Nice had articulated range game for a tall fighter, whatever the case is, right?
Precisely.
We're saying, hey, the coach with the experience, he knows, right? Because he's seen these archetypes, right? Of fighters or whatever the case is, Here's what I'm saying when you and I are talking just now. Tall guy trying to fight inside and he think he got the answers, or the tall guy trying to fight inside and not listening to the coaching. You see,
then that's to the tall guy's detriment, right? And that's one of the circumstances I was saying where there is absolutely a time where the student does need to sit down and be quiet. That would be one of them. When you talk about boxing, when you talk about football, I have fuck all to say. When the conversation goes to physics and automobiles, everybody best keep their mouth shut. When the conversation goes to different places, because we understand our own individual strengths and weaknesses. But when they start getting close together,
Aaron, that happens often. That's why this is probably the issue with this convo, because everybody think they know, right?
Yes.
Like look at this, right? I'm glad you said what you just said. It just reminded me of something. CJ was telling Shaw, I think CJ's still in the chat, that he understands research and all this stuff.
I heard that section. Yeah.
The man got a master's degree and he does it to earn money for a living. Like literally looking at researching researchers, right? That's why when you have peer reviewed studies, those have more merit, because people that understand the math behind research are looking at the paper is different than me looking at it.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And then I took a statistics class. I said, what? Yeah. But it's like you talking to a scientist, tell him you watch Star Trek.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't even know what the.
So let me impart this on you.
CJ, he in the chat, so good. Yeah, like come on.
what you're identifying is it was just on the tip of my tongue. Where just enough about a subject to get your ass in trouble.
The Kruger effect, the
Dunning-Kruger effect, right? So you take the Dunning-Kruger effect and let's say magnify that out to the person that thinks he knows it all knows nothing. The man that knows he knows nothing knows way more.
So is it would you liken it to someone who's ascended to a certain level of success? Like you often hear someone who is rich or at least financially sound speak from a place of confidence, right? Maybe the super ninjas. And then the ones who got to clock in every day is like, but you don't understand. And there seems to be like a impasse.
Yeah, well, that's because there's two different goals. If that person is clocking in and out every day, doing a thing, their goal is to do that thing with the hopes of becoming rich. The person that was rich, within the context of this conversation, their initial goal was to become rich. So in the process of becoming rich, they were required to do things. I think that's where the impasse is met.
So is the employee's opinion not valid?
It is valid.
Okay.
It's just incorrect.
Okay.
If the goal were to switch to being rich, but that's an assumption that you would have to flesh out in a conversation. If the goal is to be rich, then the perspective is valid. It's just incorrect. You got to learn how to coach around that.
And
but
go back. No, not no. But I think you actually gave me the answer. The person who clock in out the day, their goal is to do that thing. Right. The person who clocking out every day, whose goal is to be rich.
Mm-hmm.
These two people have two totally different responses. Now the person who just clocking in and out with the ceiling, right? That's right here. Damn, I hit myself hard. Right here, right? That motherfucker. Well, you ain't have to drive the truck. The motherfucker who trying to be rich. What do I do to drive the truck, to stop driving the truck, to do this and it, like, you know?
Right.
And
that's a better path to go. Right. What you said exactly.
You said it, and then I'm like, boom, that's it.
Yeah, no, that you got it. Yeah. Yep.
So then we go back to the convo, right? If a nigga takes exception with what the super nigga is saying, what is the goal of that person?
That has to be established. If the goal is to just get pussy, that's different from the goal of getting into marriage, even though initially you're going to have some of the same skills, and that's to capture the attention of the woman that you want. But then it gets real divergent real quick after that moment. And then so too does the conversation.
Niggas don't. Perfect.
Damn, man. Hey, Arnold.
So we were gonna wait patiently for the day that these niggas can show their abundance of relationship success, right? Because they not millionaires as far as relationships.
Okay. I don't know what that did for the
as far as relationships, Arnold.
Would you ask him, Sean?
I said, who's a millionaire as far as relationships, Arnold?
The married men.
Are all married men created equal, Arnold?
I answered the question the first time.
Arnold, we was married when we was on our way to being divorced.
Hey, we not on good standing right now, my nigga. You take my answer, bro, and go on what you got to talk about.
Arnold, we was still married when we was on our way to being divorced. Does that mean that we the same as Hamp and Aaron? You and your fee-fees? You want to punch the air?
100%. I'm in my fucking feelings, nigga.
What you need, man? You need me to send you a little toot over there to give you a hug or something, bro? What you need, man? How could we make it better, Arnold? Huh? I'm accountable for my behavior, Arnold. You gonna pout? Hey, I know a good barber, man. I can send him over there, man. He can get you a fresh baldy. No? All right. I tried.
Yeah, I mean, he's saying you're only as good as your last game. Essentially, you're only as good as your last game. Like a nigga was a star, but he ain't a star now, right? The cornerback go to safety because they can't do it no more.
Right.
And then the ones like Adrian Wilson go in the box and they be out the league in a year because that punishment down near that line of scrimmage is a totally different ball game.
Yeah.
And when they can't do it no more, are you still saying, like, how does this thing work? Like,
so are we discussing coaching or who can have the conversation? Because that if we talking about who can have the conversation, that metric is some bullshit. Because there are a lot of men that get to scream and yell, and
the value
they ain't even maintain a year of a relationship, but they get to scream and yell about what they don't do.
That's a question I had asked earlier. That in the very beginning, I said that it depends on the nature of the conversation. Is it a build or is it competitive? If it's a build, then you have to respect the hierarchy, which places the most knowledgeable people or experienced people in any given subject on the top, and then that makes them the coach. If the conversation's a build. If we're building and Hank gets to talking that boxing, Bible, football shit, we all shut up. He's the coach.
Mm-hmm.
I think you guys like highlighted it though, Aaron, moments ago. What's the goal? Because it seems like it shifts. Like, is marriage the goal, or is longevity within the marriage the goal, or is it access to women outside of marriage the goal? It seems like we got like 3 different paths, all involve some level of relationship. But then there's coming from all sides.
We do, and it's because the goalpost moves to follow the expertise that's currently leading in the conversation. The goal really is like growth of the community through developments of families, right? That's the overarching goal. But within that, you're going to have subcategories that people are individual experts in. And when that particular category is under scrutiny, then the people that are experts in that category should be leading the conversation. But then what happens is the goal follows their expertise. You should be attractive and be able to be charismatic and have resources to get a woman. People that have done that are super niggas, and now the goal is shifted to get pussy. When it should have always been to get married, to get families.
And that's the thing. Nobody's validating the fact that these people have the good experience, right? That can actually show you something.
That's a problem.
And that happens too often. And the fact that we can't tell what opinion should have more merit, and the conversation isn't agreed upon. You know what I mean? So, Aaron, if we're talking about sex, right?
Sure.
Getting access to sex, which I think is the majority of the conversation, right? Then would it behoove the men who haven't had sex with as many women to listen? Or do they get to say, hey, well, nah, y'all niggas did it 10 years ago, so you don't know what it's like out here and all that. Like, the game has changed so dramatically. And there are nuances, you know. I'm not.
What's the overall goal of the conversation? To build families? Then fuck what the super niggas are doing.
Clapping cheeks.
Oh, yeah, listen to the super niggas.
And then building families?
Fuck what the super niggas are saying, unless they built a family.
Okay, let's say a person built a family, but the family has since disbanded, right?
Still listen to them over those who haven't.
Okay. So even if it was 10 years ago, 7 years, the fact that they did it and it was successful for a period, right? There's substance there.
Absolutely.
And I think that that's something that I've observed our community not be good at. It'll be the same scenario where somebody may have had a business successful for a decade, and now because of the shift of the market, because of demands or whatever, they had to disband, they had to dissolve. Now they back at FedEx, and the person who been at FedEx will be like, well, you ain't got it no more. And you're like, but I did that, you know, like I had that, you know, like
it's true. So what we saying is what Arnold came up here and said was some dumb shit. That's what we saying. Look, this was some other dumb shit, right? A nigga that come up here hollering at me and Shad and keep saying our name, then get mad when a nigga say something wild to him. Playing victim, nigga, that's soft as fuck. What's also goofy is a nigga who got mad at Shad for some shit I said, then tried to bully Shad for weeks, and then when Shad started punching back, then he want to take Shad's head off. Pause. Nigga's an eternal victim in this motherfucker, man. Now he pouting. Look at him, man. Can we get an isolated shot on this man? Look at him pouting this shit, man. Fucking pouty face ass, man.
So true. This is the moment where the conversation no longer is about the build, but becomes competitive. And when the goal gets moved off of its original intended destination and moved somewhere else to further support or defend a point that really doesn't have anything to do with the overall goal, but something inside the conversation of you know, this would be one of those moments where it's competitive now, no longer a bit.
And that's what I was trying. I think I did a decent job, but maybe I haven't. You know what I mean? when CJ and I were conversing earlier, right?
Mhm.
Trying to win the point, we won't progress the conversation how we think we will.
Right.
Right. It's very important that like you said, that's the terminology that should be used, right? The build of it, right? To get to a point of understanding. Because I think that what we just kind of reached is key.
Sure.
You know? And I think that we can say to finish the sentence, right, Aaron? Right.
Yes.
Person that's married, when you're talking about getting married now, as it currently stands in this current environment, I think it would behoove you to be quiet, right?
Yes.
Now, if you're thinking about marriage as a construct,
Mhm.
the men who have been married, regardless if
Mhm.
they're divorced or not, right?
Mhm.
It would behoove you to listen to them, right? Because they understand it.
Yes, sir.
Just want to smash chicks. The nigga that smashed that is on. If they call him Shad Chamberlain or whatever the fuck, you should
Yeah.
listen to him, right?
That's the one. Yep.
That man, I had a 5-year relationship, man. I was supposed to be at the game.
My
So,
bad, HAMP Chamberlain,
yeah, talk about the song, man.
right? Then you listen to them.
Crazy up, man. That shit got dust on it.
Now, here's the key, Aaron. Now we beefing, right? Now we feeling away, right? And then I come and say, yo, the women ain't that bad. Niggas gotta fix they shit. I understand it's both parties, but y'all always beating down on them, using these things falsely. Then I say, the fuck is your woman at, nigga?
Right. Right. Right.
Ain't that bad out here. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
even that part is like it kind of got some juice to it, right?
Some weight to it. Yeah. Yeah.
And I understand the reply is, well, I'm intentional now, right? And I'm focusing and I'm experiencing these women, and before it even gets to the physical thing, I move on when I realize that our be nice for saying it in the fucking chat. In the thing, our world is like, what do you say? Worldview doesn't matter,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then
Yeah.
I'm moving on, and boom, I'm gonna find one, you know.
For sure.
But then, right? Because I'm literally arguing with myself right now. Then I say,
Oh, you cooking though.
but then I say, fuck out of here, nigga. If it was that many good women, why you got to go through so many to get one on your woke shit?
Right. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Or on
Yep.
my mom, however the fuck they saying in West Coast.
Yeah.
You know? And then that's where the shit right? That's
Yeah.
the interesting thing. Because
Implodes. Yeah.
it's like they right? Like it's
Right.
like the torts are equal to me in that
Yeah.
circle, which is interesting.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why it's easy for us to mess it up though, because they're both so everything is in close proximity and not far off, and it's difficult to keep everything in line on the string. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. That's interesting. Let me
Oh yeah, I just wanted to say I think the part that yeah, go on.
Caesar, the issue. I just want to see if
I'm
this
not-
shit work. It don't look like it though. Caesar, you there? Go ahead, be nice.
Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to say like I don't know the full history behind everything that's going on right now between like the people personally, but when I hear I don't know how to define it. I don't want to
You
just
sure
say
you don't? You had a lot to say to me a couple days ago that you like.
yeah.
You didn't.
So when I hear
what I've been doing, so what you mean? You don't know
yeah,
what's going
when
on.
I hear you in particular say things like, I don't understand what these issues that these internet niggas be talking about, and
Hey, be nice, don't now, see. Be nice. I'm gonna pull it on. I don't like to lie on that. So like, don't lie, bro. You ain't never heard me say that. Don't lie. Don't lie, bro.
Caesar, you gotta.
You're saying you've never said that there were internet niggas were different from you?
I'm saying don't quote me like you got like don't do that.
Hold on, you, Caesar.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So when we hear, and I've heard you say it in the past, that there's internet niggas, just you saying that in general means you're trying to differentiate yourself from another person that's on the same panel as you, but somehow they're different from you. You still haven't got an explanation as to why that is. We just hear that, oh yeah, well, I don't have these experiences with women, so it must just be an internet nigga thing. And so you just pigeonhole and completely dismiss everything that everyone else says to say that they're internet niggas, and you'll always be able to do that because you've already added internet niggas with no definition, so you can just throw it at anyone.
Pause.
If they're not saying what you want to say, if they're not saying what you believe is true, then they're an internet nigga. If they don't just have sex without any intention with a bunch of women, if they have intentional relationships and don't have a lot of bodies but have a lot of relationships, then they're an internet nigga as well. Because
that's what you heard you say. Be nice.
That's what I'm saying.
Clarify yourself, Shad. Clarify yourself.
I ain't Arnold back alive again. We glad he back. Shock and I always pull Arnold out of the shadows every fucking time. I just want everybody to notice that Shock can bring Arnold back to life every time. But see, here's what I'm saying. Be nice, right? Like, because if we had this conversation in a vacuum, like Shock used the word internet niggas, right? We don't talk about like the entire like series of events that happen, right? So now you want to present to the audience like Shock is the bully talking about on internet niggas. Is if I don't got to deal with internet niggas every day doing what they do. So I would just say, I'm gonna let you get done screaming. I'm gonna let you finish screaming. You finish screaming?
Nigga, clarify yourself instead of fucking painting a fucking picture, nigga. Clarify yourself.
I'm a filmmaker. I don't know no other way, dog. I'm sorry. I don't know no other way, bro. But I'm glad you up again. I'm glad you back.
What's the question?
The question is what? So I'm still looking for a definition of internet niggas that's concrete.
Here's the question. Shad, do you know that you've said the phrase internet?
Yeah, I've used internet niggas before. Yes.
What did you mean by it?
Exactly what I said. Internet niggas that spend a lot of time on the internet. Y'all developed a way of being. Like Sean said, Arnold tried to have a moment with me because he's a content creator, right? So he took something that Sean said and he was pulling a Compton drive-by. Like shit, like as if like what he's doing is really threatening, but he gonna come to the internet to scream and yell and prison mode. To me, that's internet nigga shit.
Question. So I want to understand it. Am I an internet nigga?
You are an internet nigga. I'm an internet nigga. At this point, I'm here. I have to
being on the internet.
Huh?
Just being on the internet?
I mean, it's more context to it than that, but I'm saying we all are on the internet, right? So we may have taken on some of the internet, and I run from most of the shit these niggas do.
Okay.
But we may have taken on some because we all are creating content that we all are here to have conversations.
Okay, so hold on, Arnold.
Come on, bro. This nigga don't got no fucking spine, nigga. I know what you said. You won't say what the fuck you said. These niggas say women don't smile at us. These niggas talking about all black women got herpes, right? That's what internet niggas say, Sean. Stand on the fucking shit you say, nigga, and just repeat it and clarify what you said in relation to internet niggas. And let's move past
That's what I mean by internet niggas. He done get up to he's screaming like he checking me. That's internet nigga shit. It don't move nothing. So I've already said this.
No. But so then that's what that interests me, right? So technically, I'm an internet nigga. 'Cause I'm on the internet.
Yeah.
But internet nigga shit has a qualification. It has a.
It does. Yeah. Right. It's dudes that's trying to make content, or even the way they see the world. Like a lot of the discussions, a lot of their vocabulary comes from panel conversations. The terminology they use.
Oh, let me say. I see. You saying when a nigga, this is like when they say a nigga go to college and be a totally different person.
That's part of it too, yeah.
Like that, like the nigga internet is where that nigga is the man.
Right. Where he has his cachet. He has a group of like-minded people. So he does things like, for instance, like right with the Discord thing, right? When you come in, there's a process you got to go through of niggas there who in real life would never bother you that way. Do it because there's a group of guys that have bought into this type of behavior that only happens on the internet. Because we know you're not fucking with random dudes that disagree with you in real life. We may have a discussion and we walk away. You're not saying certain things to them unless you that much of a crash out. And like I said, I'm just not gonna believe that all the crash outs came to the internet at one time to talk about women. All the killers and thugs decided to come to the internet. Internet nigga shit. There's a way that you can act and show up on the internet, that if you showed up like that consistently on the earth, you either be dead or in jail, or at least walking around with some limbs not in the right place.
And you give some credence potentially to the fact that the way we socialize now has developed past just in real life. But I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, but I mean, it sounds like you have a personal vendetta with the behavior that you see from the men online. That's what I hear.
No, it's not. It's not in general. It's just some like stuff, personal stuff. It's not in general.
It's like the sensational shit, right? Where the sentiment is that niggas wouldn't do that shit in person or act that particular way, you know. But up here, niggas get to be all they can be. But how do they manifest in the earth? Is it the same way? If not, that would be internet nigga shit. By proxy of being on the internet, true, we internet niggas, right?
Yeah, I'm an internet nigga.
The entire world is on the internet, right? Like literally, everybody's lifespan is social media. To your point, you know. So it's there's a dichotomy there, you know, internet nigga shit and a nigga who be on the internet type. You know what I mean?
So there's two definitions. Okay, got you.
Yeah, because technically we're internet niggas, right? But to do sensational shit on the internet is internet nigga shit.
I don't know, man. I mean, why even use it as something that's a negative? If you agree that your definition is just
it is negative. That's why it's certain things that we do as men on the internet is negative. Because we're not consistent. If you a killer on the internet, you should be a killer in real life, right? You should have a body. If you online threatening people's life, you should have a body in real life. Because ain't no way Shad is the most egregious person you've met in your life because you disagree with something I said.
You doing yourself a disservice, nigga.
Man, I'm not. What you talking about, man?
Oh, that tracks though to me, right? Think about it. There's no way you get that much vitriol from the cameras. That should manifest in your real life at some point before you even get here, right? That should be a part of your jacket before you get here. That I think that point has legs. You know what I'm saying? That point, like, motherfucker, you should see that in a nigga jacket. Like, okay, maybe not caught one crazy, and obviously everything. Niggas don't get caught for everything, but now we're going into the weeds of the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Just like when Triple Hennessy Black came up here and threatened me. Like, who believed him, man? Like Hennessy Triple Hennessy Black was.
I ain't see him in the chat, so
he's somewhere.
He's somewhere. Taxes if I need it done, man. That's it.
I ain't see him in the chat yet. You know what I'm saying? I ain't see him today, so you know.
I have a question. And it's a genuine question. Why respond or even consider such threats? Why not just acknowledge their existence and quietly make necessary preparations to ensure those threats aren't carried out, and then take it no further than there? Why give a fuck?
Let me do it now. Let me do what be done. Aaron, you are 6'5", 290 pounds. You know how to do everything that a nigga need to do to survive, right?
Yeah,
Hunt,
you're right.
shoot, stab, cook, nasty shit like quiche, right? So of course you don't see them.
Yeah. Say no more. You're right. Yeah, point taken.
You got a dog. You got 2 sons, nigga. Hush.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Okay.
You know,
yeah, the main issue is like the kind of shitting on people that are supposedly lower than you. And when you say internet niggas, Shad's intention is for him to differentiate himself from these people, so that to say, I don't do these things. When I have these conversations in real life, we don't talk about the issues that we have in relationships. It's all hunky-dory and dandy when we're having the conversations. And then when we have conflict in the conversation, then it's, oh, that's internet nigga shit. So are you an internet nigga? When the conflict happens, Is it depend on which side you're on? Like, where is the differentiation in the internet niggas and what their actions are? Because these are just normal people. When I look at the internet, I don't go, oh, this person's on the internet, so majority of the people around are just internet only niggas. When I look at Instagram comments, I'm assuming that these are just normal people. And this is what the majority of people are thinking, not that they're stuck on Instagram and they're just only living through Instagram. No, this is how normal people think about these things. So there's no reason to pigeonhole it into they're an internet nigga or an Instagram person. This is the Instagram comments. This is where normal people go to give their reactions and tell you about what they think. So that's the dirt, and that's the problem that everyone's having is he's kicking up dirt while also saying, I'm part of you.
No,
why are you kicking the dirt?
Yo, I ain't gonna hold you. I used to. I think I feel similar. Right? I'm saying feel right. Like niggas just used to do the money phone shit. You ever seen that? When niggas had the money, I'm like, this some corny shit. But everybody was doing it. It's like I'm looking at my mans. We the only two not doing this shit. I'm like, damn, we corny. But I look at that shit as corny, and that was a wave, remember? Right? Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. I'm like, yo, that's some corny ass shit, bro. Like, I can't, but they doing this shit. And I would say, cause just following the logic, that's some internet nigga shit. The niggas I know getting real money, nigga, you ain't like, you know what I'm saying? Like they got clothes and shit, but they not doing no money phone, right?
I'm sorry.
I'm rambling.
Is it safe to say that be nice is maybe alluding to like if you gonna be up here, participating in conversations alike, then don't try to attack your existence in these conversations. Does that sound about right? That's what I'm taking.
That's exactly what I'm saying. He's attacking himself while also saying he's not himself.
All right. That's what I heard. So, but yeah.
Hey, be nice. This your biggest point of contention, bro. I'll stop using internet niggas, man. I'll stop using it. I won't say it no more.
I think the internet nigga shit, the action is like the key component.
That's what's important too. We still haven't gotten a concrete thing for that. It's like
I just gave when you might have missed it, but I just gave when if you a killer online, you should have one body before you got the shot.
If you're a killer, okay, I can agree to that.
They both have merit.
I don't know how often that happens. I don't know if I could say we would be using internet niggas shit so often and so loosely if we're talking about killers. So I'm looking for maybe a little bit less.
Hey, be nice. I don't think you got a full grasp of like what you're talking about. So I feel like we could just move the conversation forward, bro. I promise.
No. I want to hear a more extreme version.
This particular point, I don't want to keep talking about it. I don't want to keep talking about it.
You can dodge it, but I'm still going to ask my question. So
sure.
We're looking for a lesser version of these killers. So where is if it's only as extreme as saying you want to kill someone on the internet, where is the lesser version for internet niggas? What are they doing that isn't killing? And
I think be nice. You got to give some validity to. This is just from what I obsessed with Shad. I think Shad is just coming from an integral perspective. That as men, like reality, like come on, my guy. In real life, every day, as men, you probably not walking around exerting this type of energy. And so his moniker is internet niggas, whatever, right? I get your gripe with it. It's like, okay, yeah, I think it's merit on both ends. I think y'all just missing. You guys are blowing past each other.
Yeah, I say we can move on, bro. I don't think it ain't that deep.
Wait. We can't move on. I need to know the definition of an internet nigga.
Granny, you gotta say good morning.
Oh, I'm sorry. Good evening, everyone. How y'all doing? It is 4:14 p.m. I hope you guys have an amazing Sunday.
And also,
my Saints don't play today, so I won't get heartbroken.
And also,
so today's a good day.
Lee is before you, unless he would like to relinquish, because then we're gonna get out of here after you go and Lee go.
Nah, you can go ahead. I don't care. Yeah, I need to know what's the definition of an internet nigga.
Already.
Nah, what? What you say, Ham?
I ain't say nothing.
What you say, Ham?
I ain't say nothing, man.
Well, that's what I thought.
I don't
I
feel like
need to know
listening
what
to
the
you yelling.
definition of an internet nigga is, man. That's what I need to know. Shot.
I don't know, bro.
You
I'm
don't
still
know?
working on that. Still working on it. Yeah.
All right.
I gave you one.
You gave me one, or Hemp gave me one?
No, I gave everybody one. If you a kill online, I want you to have a body before you get the shot. That's internet nigga.
But that's what Hemp said.
No, that's
So
what I
I'm
said.
asking you for one.
That's what I said.
Hemp framed it, and you
okay.
build upon that frame. What I'm asking you is, what's the internet nigga? Because you was the one saying it.
I feel like whatever definition I give is gonna be all over the place.
All right.
Yeah, I don't have a concise definition for you.
All right. Well, y'all gentlemen have a good day.
For sure.
Go ahead, Lee, man. We about to wrap this bad boy up.
Perfect. I wanted to give my definition to internet nigga real quick. I think it's a dude that would say something online that he wouldn't say to a man's face. I think a lot of people have been in that situation before. So I don't know. It's like it's hard to really be like, yo, I'm not an internet dude if you've done that before, because I think that's what an internet dude is, like somebody that's constantly saying some stuff that he typically would not say to another man's face. You know, if anything, he'd get bullied, or he'll walk away or something like that. That's what I think an internet dude is. And then he got like a manosphere mindset. Like he kind of super red pill all the time. He constantly blaming the women and stuff like that. That's what I think an internet dude is. Real simple.
Okay. Yeah, I think that seemed to be slightly in line with what Shaw was painting too. I think that's pretty close. Because it was about the actions, you know what I'm saying? Because technically let's keep it tall, nigga. We love the internet. You shit me? This shit better than daytime television. Come on, man. Fuck want to watch Young and the Restless. Hey, Maury Povich. You know what I'm
saying? Maury Povich.
You know what I'm saying? Who want to watch that shit? Nobody want to watch that shit. It's the best shit in the world, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I just think it's like, hell yeah. It's just like when people take that and use it to an advantage, because you in a box. You really, you know what I'm saying? You really can't talk crazy like that in real life. So when you indulge in it, like overly, like you constantly indulge in it, like saying the wildest stuff, that's when you become something else. You know what I'm saying? You're not just enjoying it at that part. That part you kind of just you abusing it.
Yeah, not taking advantage of it, essentially. Right?
Of course, hell yeah, because bro, come on, man. Most of the stuff people say, bro, somebody running your mouth, somebody boom you. You be laying on your back with you say them, it be your last words. So it's like we know this is men. You feel me? And we break that barrier the dudes that break that barrier every chance they get. That's a specific guy, not because you like the internet, not because you be on here all day, not because you make money on here, not because you got a thriving podcast called This Might Get Risky. Nah, you ain't an internet dude because of that. You're an internet dude because you stay talking crazy when you get online. And we don't know why. We don't know why you keep talking crazy.
Interesting, man. It's interesting, man. What you think, True?
I'm gonna stand on what I said. I think this is just a vehicle. I do agree that most dudes, that if they are sensationalizing, if they placating, plateauing or whatever, they probably wouldn't have that same energy in real life. But we know that to be true across the board. I think that you should just ignore it. I think Aaron even said it. It's like if it ain't a threat to your front door, like why even give it energy? Like who cares? Like you're irrelevant. But
I agree. But True, I agree with Aaron, but he's an asshole. Threatened by. Like that's the other thing. Like you know what I'm saying? What the fuck is he threatened by?
It's
This
just
nigga is a sharpshooter when it was a real war. Like
Damn. Right.
yeah.
this nigga's a culinary chef. He can fix his own car. Like yo, this nigga, War of the Worlds, nigga. That's him driving in the car and nobody else. Like you know what I mean?
For
Like,
sure.
Yeah, just saying, just saying ignore it is like, come on, bro. Like everybody not just gonna ignore it, you know what I'm saying? Like you know where it get to. Dudes be like SMD, dudes be calling you a bad, dudes talk about your dead parents or some shit. Like, bro.
yeah, what he
Like
means,
that's what we
But I think
Aaron ain't ignoring it. True and Lee, I think he more responded to the overt reaction to it, right? I think Aaron would be keen on anybody saying anything that crosses a threshold, right? He ain't saying, oh, whatever. You know what I mean? He just saying like the overt responses to certain things, right? That's the part he probably most pinpointing on. But if you say some crazy shit to Aaron, it's always gonna be right here. There's been conversations that we've been broaching where Aaron had to call me like, hey, Hamp, here's where I think we should turn this conversation because of the vital nature of it. You know what I'm saying? So even with then, he'll call me like, okay, that's too serious. And even then, I kind of broached the conversation, but it didn't go right because he was talking. It was a thing, you know. And I kind of left that topic a little bit alone, right? So he heard a thing, and then when he needed to react, he did, you know. So.
I just think in the Earth Hamp, like we all got different cats that move about, you know, in these circles. Most maybe I'm different. Cats say stuff crazy. I never was moved by words. Like that just never really was a thing. You can say what you want to say. Like it would have to come from someone close in proximity. I'm talking relational. Relational, I'm gonna respond different. But a stranger, you can say whatever. You don't know me. I don't care. You ain't moving nothing. That's me though. And I know every cat ain't like that. Some dudes is like, what you say? Like, and they popping off. I think that's reckless and foolish. But that's just
I think the foolish part of that is saying what you say before you pop off. That wouldn't make sense to me.
Yeah, but you did, you know, like
but if a nigga say SMD true, don't ask him what he said. You know what he said.
No, I feel that. I'm not gonna move off of what I'm saying. Like it don't, words don't move me like that.
Oh no, I catch the drift. I'm saying that the only foolish thing was asking him, what you say?
Yeah.
Ask that. Go ahead.
Nah, true. Yeah, true. You right.
He's right. He's right. I just can't.
Yeah, he right, but
I can take a SMD to the face. Pun intended.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and I think he talking about how to be proactive against super internet dudes. But it's like, is that what that guy would say to your face? And the answer is no. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, yeah, like me, like I'm leaving all that. Like dudes that be talking crazy, I'm just leaving them alone. I'm not even trying to be in a space. No, I 100% agree with that. But the whole internet dude definition is you saying that to my face, which I know you wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? I know you wouldn't tell me the SMD. I know you wouldn't talk about nobody, none of my dead, because I'll spin you just that quick. You know what I'm saying? But you would do it on here, and now that's what make you an internet dude.
Now I think the important thing is, right, I'm not saying that shit to nobody either.
Right.
See,
yeah.
So that's the other thing. We gotta assess that, like, cause here's the thing, right? It was a panel a while ago, right, Lee? Is all the ladies. They calling this nigga ugly, fat, big Al. I think y'all might have seen it. They calling him ugly, fat. What you up here talking for? Right? On the POV. They say, oh, shut up, Big Al. Right? Now, he been getting berated for 15 minutes.
Right.
He say, nah, bitch, you shut up. Oh, get off the panel. I said, wait a fucking minute. Y'all done told this nigga everything under the sun. Now, Big Al, now I gotta...
Now Big Al gotta leave that.
Like, and that be the thing. Like, I just want to make sure we acknowledge our, you know, if we have any part to play in that shit. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I mean that's different. That's you know, that's a little different. But yeah. If you exit it on and then somebody start talking crazy to you, yeah, you got a part to play in that. That's what I'm saying. Like True said, just stay away from people like that in general. If you around a internet dude who really trying to like antagonize you, constantly saying the things that would like cause fights or shootouts, whatever the case is, you just need to exit, because that's the thing about the internet. You can always turn it off, man. And that's what people don't be understanding, man. Man, turn that shit off. You run into one of them dudes talking crazy about your parents, talking crazy about your kid, whatever. Just turn that shit off, bro. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's the time I'm on these days, man. I just turn it off and bye-bye, bro. I'll holla at you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Damn, man. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. CJ with the 2000. Or is he making it up because he on the internet? CJ with the 2000. Is he a scientist or a filmmaker? I'm confused. Granny with the $5. Yo, Hamp, stop framing it for Shaw. Let that grown ass man do it himself. He gave that example. And with the $2 says, it's levels to this internet nigga shit. Shay with the $2. Do these talking points help or hurt our birth rates?
What? I don't know it.
Damn. Striking the Rich with the £5 says, due diligence should be on both sides. We don't trust and believe all women because the brick lady situation is way more common than we realize. Bad boy with the $5 because the Niners always beating the shit out of them. Onika Sue with the $2 says, Big Aaron goated. You see, supers aren't leaders. God damn. Aaron with the $2 says, Iceman just started a whole 2-week show. Omar with the $10 says, I keep telling y'all people need dads. Y'all be getting mad at me. People without dads miss 12 years of grammar school, 6 years of manhood, and 101 and 6 years of manhood. Manhood 101 and 6 years of manhood 102. Y'all don't hear me though. LOL. Leslie with the $5 says, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, the TMBR edition. AP,
what up,
Leslie, what's up?
Holla at your boy, you thought your cousin was.
This is my OG AP in the building who gifted 5. This might be risky memberships, man. Whoever got blessed for one, please maintain it. And with the $2 says, are black people hypersexual because we're coping for something? Nah. Just vagina is yeah, we just like it. It just, yeah, you know. If you don't get it, you won't get it. Pun intended. Arno, any final thoughts?
Perfect.
Nah.
Turn on the AC Sundays at 12 p.m. Eastern, right?
Yeah.
12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, whatever that is Pacific, man. Somebody drop the link. Make sure y'all go like, share, and subscribe. They did an episode today. Go give it a rewatch, give it a like, make a comment that pushes everybody into the algorithm. You heard? Lee, any final thoughts?
Perfect.
Oh man, just safety, man. You know what I'm saying? Safety. That's it.
True.
Perfect.
Appreciate the show today. I think we're making some headway. There's a couple of little, pull offs to the side on, some internal beef. I'm learning they got real beef in these Discord. This is wild to me. But we making headway. I'm loving the way the conversations are developing. So thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Sure,
Y'all
always.
be safe. Have a good week.
You already. Aaron.
Perfect.
Yes, sir. Great conversation, great panel, man. Some heavyweights up here, man. A lot of heavy hitters with some heavy hitter points. Gentlemen, in one way or another, we all excel in something, which in my eyes makes us a leader in something. We gotta understand we have our beefs and our competitive moments, but we gotta do our best to hold the line because in the community, we're a leader or a leader of leaders, right? No, I don't think anybody up here is disinterested in progress. It doesn't sound like that. And everybody up here has a great intellect. I recognize you all as peers. So let's just continue to have a conversation, do the best we can to keep it objective, straight, and true. If not, we'll be our own downfall. So shout out to the fellas.
Indeed. Shot.
Perfect.
Big shout out to True Table today. I think he was an MVP. We've been trying to figure out for a long time kind of what that man being in the way looks like, and I think True Table has articulated it better than anyone. So shout out to you, man. That makes sense. And I think if myself and other men are in those opportune times doing things like that, that needs to be corrected. You know what I mean? I don't mind conceding to them. That's what's happening. At the end of the day, man, ain't no beef, man. God saved me from a head-on collision a month ago, so I ain't worried about I ain't worried about the internet. I'm good. So, like you said, these moments, these conversations do get contentious sometimes, and we still trying to figure it out. But it ain't no beef. I think just a lot of foolishness that men are engaging in, and for us to be coming here every day trying to hold a woman to any account, I still think there's a lot of things that we can check before we really can have these conversations in a way that's going to actually manifest into family, into improvement, into these stats that people love to use, and kind of comb through to comfort their biases. Until we really start putting that pain in as individuals, we won't see it, and pointing our fingers will only get us so far. So that's just where I'm thankful for everybody for attending the super experience. I'm looking forward to the next one.
Indeed.
Perfect.
Yeah, man. I think I learn a lot. You know, whether the things I'm learning are right, wrong, or indifferent. I consume a lot of information, so I can hear it, understand it, refute it, retort it, or ask people to reconcile it. You know, but there's a lot of valuable things. The key is the objectivity while listening, and I think that people are doing themselves a disservice by continuing to come to the conversation with a presupposition, right? And you wonder why you are staying stagnant. You know. While people who are willing to listen objective and apply what they can apply when they need to self-correct and self-check are gaining positive results from the conversation that they hear. Right? And there's so many people, think about it. It's probably 50 people chatting and there was 300 people there today. Right? So we assume the effects, you know. I got a message 3 days ago. Brother said verbatim, he said, "Yo, I love you and I appreciate you. I just went to this camp meeting, but I found the truth from listening to you guys' conversation." That probably happened 10 or 20 times. Right? He's saying his path to the Most High came from listening to the conversation. If that happened once a year, that justifies it. Right? Because he come here for entertainment and then we do the Bible shows and that brother came for that. He said, "Oh shit. It say black and beautiful. It say this, that, and the third." Right? And let's all keep it tall. Everybody here is implicated if they don't like the bullshit. Because when we talk about bullshit, that's when y'all show up. So hold that mirror up. My least viewed show was when I did it on entrepreneurship. The other ones, when we talking about the Bible. The other one, when we talked about mentorship and brought the fucking kids up here that we mentored. So everybody who got their drawers on the outside of their pants, like us up here and everybody in the chat, check your motherfucking self. That's all. And then admit it. All right? Admit it. But take what you can, you know, and let's be as objective as possible. You'd be surprised what you can learn through the conversation. So.
That's a fact.
I love y'all. I appreciate y'all jumping to Discord. Oh, we got a lot of programs in there, and we have great conversation as well. Yeah, man. It's Sunday. The HQ tomorrow. Me, Big Aaron, Mr. Fantastic. You're gonna get it popping, man. Start to another good week. You heard?
Perfect.
I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Be safe and do the right thing.
Hey, yo, Ham, can I ask you something real quick? When I gave my definition of the super dude, did I ever say I wasn't one?
No. I don't think so. I think you may have questioned it, but I don't think you ever been like, "No, I ain't." You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Be safe and do the right thing, man. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And we out.